D4.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Ready City Crit. I am your Dungeon Master Harna, and today I'm joined by my almost spacefaring lot. We're still not in space. Still not. 16 episodes in.
We
No space.
went through space to get here.
Yep, off-screen space. But 16 episodes in, no space for the space campaign.
We're also technically in space because everything is.
But
all right,
also,
Einstein.
if we let the Nazis do what they want, we'll definitely be in space.
Yes,
or
but we
we'll
never
burn
let
up an
Nazis do
atmosphere.
what they want. Life rule: don't let Nazis do what they want.
Just like the real Nazis, who also wanted to go to space. Let's start off with that analogy, and let's have Ryan kick us off.
Hello, I am Ryan. I am playing Cyrus, the ASMR Barbarian, and I will pass it to Will.
Hi, I'm Will. I'm playing Volgir, the runs away from everyone in the party. Duragar Ranger. And I'm going to pass over to George.
Hello, I'm George. I am playing Atlas Moreau, the Owlin Druid, and I will pass it to Mary.
I'm Mary. I play Astra, the Tempest Cleric, who is an ASMR, and I'll pass it to Anthony if he's done munching.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I play Beros Darkhoof, a Satyr Rogue, and I will pass it back to the DM.
Most lovely of things. Yes, indeed. It is I, your humble dungeon master, who is incredibly lazy and will now ask his players to tell him what happened last time.
Space
Anyone?
Nazis 2 Electric Boogaloo.
We went to a land down under where the women hoe and men plunder.
The men also hoe.
The men also hoe. And there's
Ryan, if you start this, you must do... If you start this way, you're going to have to do this on every single session now.
Okay.
Song
And
that
now
works
Ryan
with it.
will recap in song form.
Yes.
No.
You gotta work on your improv, buddy.
I'm trying to think of the verses now.
I
We
said,
met a
do you speak
woman-
my language? Something
Which
veggie my
we said,
sandwich.
we said, do you speak in my language? She just smiled and passed us towards the brothel. We went to a brothel. Yay, brothels. And Atlas got her hoe on. She was jazzing it up with all of the dudes and the ladies. The rest of us just wanted to drink. Astra was
Astra wanted to
mortified
leave.
and scarred for life. A giantess hit on Cyrus, probably because of Atlas, but we didn't figure that out last time, but I have my suspicions. She was Tinkerbell. She could bend a stripper pole and then bend it back to straight perfectly.
That is quite impressive.
What a talent.
It was.
It is.
There was the best whore in the house was an Aarakocra eagle who was like all American badass. We got talking to the owner, Gianna, and she basically told us that there were no other parties that were really opposing the Archmagus, who is in control of the guards, who are pretty much Nazi mind melding everybody. We figured out that the Dryad's tears were pretty much wiped out at the synagogue, and that's where they're looking.
They're still alive.
Well, getting to that, that's where they're meant to be wiped out, and they're going to try and reclaim it during the big hoo-ha by the Archmagus. With the help of Gianna with a distraction, I believe. We told the party to stay together because it's not safe, and then Volgir left.
I think Volgir left before that.
He did his no. He did not leave before we said that. We said that before we went into the
We said that
brothel.
when we were still on the ship.
Yes.
Where you also left.
So he just left and did his own thing, got into the synagogue, found some clues, and saw some bodies. Then Astra wanted to leave, and Beros left with her. Cyrus and Atlas had a moment at the bar, a potential key handing, but then it was given to someone else.
It was given to the eagle.
It was given to the eagle because he was definitely going to use it. We then followed Volgir, got to the synagogue. Astra realized that the people were still alive that were impaled on the giant flowers, and she pretty much had a panic attack. Volgir said we're all good for the heist the next day, but we now have a notoriety, and we must be cautious.
That notoriety started at 14.
Yep.
And then we went to the bar to begin Operation Liberation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Possibly.
Right now, I believe you did.
We long rested.
You did sleep, yeah. So it is a new day. The sun
A new
has
day, a
risen.
new dawn.
So make sure you have please long rested if you haven't already. It is the 11th. It is the 11th of the month. You know that the 30th is when they are planning this big lift. Big lift off is their general plan. So you have about 20 days, roughly.
The big shoop.
Yeah, they mark the end of merits. There is another Fey Day celebration. This one is it's the celebration of Are, which is the sun, which Kemnor travels around. So it's like all about the light Fey and the Seelie cord and all things that come with the sun and light and it's a very positive celebration.
I've just noticed that the map has been updated. There is now an alert level, the date, segment, and notoriety score in the top.
I'm going to note down what your notoriety score last was for yourself. I'm going to keep, obviously, like I said before, the notoriety score will change, but it is an action to work out what it has changed to. So I will put down what your last
Or if I'm subtle,
known...
I can just lean over here.
I'll put your last known score was right there.
Snooping on the DM. Or deception. Or stealth.
Every time George leans over to my screen, I'm going to
Add
change
our
the
notoriety
score.
score by 1.
Notoriety.
I as a point try to not look at Harry's screens at all, like I try to just blank out this section, but every now and then just on my peripheral vision I just see him like spawning in a bunch of enemies or something, and it's like, you don't see it, you can't see it.
I can lower my screen back down again and block you off if you like.
No, it's fine. I think I'm pretty good for not letting people know. Sometimes I see you using ChatGPT and it makes me laugh, like last time.
I'm just gonna be like,
I never told
staring
you
at
guys
George.
about that. Harry tried to get ChatGPT to
This is quite
come
funny.
up. he tried to get ChatGPT to come up with a description for the brothel.
Yeah.
Just like on the fly, and ChatGPT was like, I can't generate illicit
Sexy
content.
things. And I was like, God damn it, generate me a tavern then. And it was like, very well. And I was like, generate me a tavern that is run by a madam. And it's like, I shall do this thing for you.
So yeah, it's like, make me a brothel, and ChatGPT's like, I don't want.
I don't want to make brothels. ChatGPT is not a fan of brothels.
So are they announcing it? Is it today?
That is your intent, your belief. Yes, from what
And
Today is
that
the day.
From what Gianna had suggested.
And the Dryad's Tids might be planning on trying to fuck some shit up.
Reclaiming the synagogue where they've got some stuff.
I will say, I don't know whoever called it a synagogue. It's a cathedral.
I've got cathedral/temple in my.
I don't care for the godly things. I'll call it by whatever comes to mind.
It's a religious building.
Nazi Germany.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe Ryan.
Yeah, I think Ryan's thinking some leaps and bounds here.
So, what have we woken up just at a regular time in the morning?
I
I
like
would
that
assume
in the
you've woken
last
up, like, crack of
campaign
dawn.
we also had the moment with the Nazis, and it's like, it just makes me think of the fucking Bo Burnham song with like, it's a fucking scarecrow again. Like, it's fucking Nazis again!
Look, I'm gonna give advice for every budding DM out there who wants to run a long-standing campaign.
Use Nazis.
You've got to start the first group of bad people as a really easy to associate as bad people. And Nazis are notoriously bad. The only worst thing you can get the
into
Nazis
the grey
is
area
Nazi
of good
zombies.
and bad later, you know? Like, for now,
Look,
Nazi bad.
you need something to not something for everyone to bond over. If anyone in your group is like, I don't think what they're doing is that bad, then I think you need to reconsider some things about that person in your real life.
Hey, if it's good enough for Indiana Jones, it's good enough for D&D.
God, could you imagine? You're just there like, oh yeah, we just arrived in Tilm. Oh, let's go to the blacksmith, and it's just like, oh, hello there, Cyrus. It appears that you think that you'll be getting away with this one, but not this time. It is basically like you work for us. Give us your axe. You know, it's like, could you imagine? Terrible fucking impressions of like German accents.
You kind of sounded like Goldmember.
Yeah, well, that's what the Germans in Indiana Jones do not sound like Germans. They don't.
Am I right in thinking, if I remember my note, because that's not in my notes, if I remember this correctly from the meeting where they said they were going to announce it was the cathedral?
It was going to be in the plaza.
I'm going to get some pizza. Nobody do anything drastic.
It was going to be at the plaza at the Houses of Arcanum, which is the one that's shared.
Kills Atlas in her sleep.
Taking all the
Fucking
drastic with her.
try!
The
I got more hit points than you, bitch!
The House of Arcanum are like that big kind of sprawling upper level of the city. But yeah, the big plaza by the cathedral is where the announcements can be held.
Okay. Volga is going to say to the group when they wake up, I'm going to head over there early. I want to see if I can get an eye on things. You're welcome to join me. If not,
If
happen.
Beros kind of see this, I'll be like,
I'm saying it to you.
I don't think it's a good idea that you go on your own again. Like,
I'm not planning on to. I'm not planning to. I'm giving you the option here.
no, let's go together, and then when we get there, then you can split off.
I don't think going there too early in the day is the best thing. If we arrive with a crowd, we might be able to slip out of it relatively unnoticed. But if we arrive early and then people see us being there, if we're not there by the end of this announcement, there may be some kind of suspicion as to where did we go.
Who says we're not there to shop? It is a plaza after.
Is there anything? Is there shops open? Everything might be on hold if this is some big government announcement.
Well, I was just thinking that
We
they'd
could
allow people to sell.
investigate
Worst case, we could always leave again.
investigate the temple like you said with the guards yesterday. And then when it comes later afternoon time, maybe then scope out the place, do touristy things, make it seem like we're just part of the crowd.
Did the sergeant tell you when his shift ended, Volgear?
Sorry, I'm getting past things and people won't
I
live.
noticed. Did the sergeant tell you when his
I
shift
cannot
ended?
remember if he told me when his shift ended. We can go over there. Although it depends who wants
if you
to go
recall
in.
correctly, I think he did say that he may not be on when you next come by.
But he did say he was going to pass on a message, didn't he, if I remember correctly? But
Well, I
If
did
you
say that
wanna
might
go-
come with a caveat.
yes,
Well, maybe if we go to investigate the cathedral sooner rather than later, it'll
would-
be in enough time that the message won't reach higher.
I would.
But do we need to go to the cathedral? Have we not already investigated it?
Well, yeah, I cleared as much as I could there. I couldn't see any secret
Should
passageway.
we not be investigating just the plaza in general, keeping our eyes out for the Dryad Stairs? I think potentially just stopping them while being at the announcement will be enough.
And also, there's nothing saying that if you turn up to the plaza, we're just turning up because we've heard the announcement ourselves.
We were told that when the announcement was going to be, so
We were
maybe
told
we're
not to
just there
interfere.
to...
We're just not told. We weren't told to not just attend public events.
Showing up isn't interfering, it's just catching the sights.
Showing up. Yeah, exactly. So I suggest we go over there. We maybe blend in a bit and see where we go. And if we don't blend in, we don't blend in. It's not like we're there to do anything
Maybe
sneaky. It's not we're gonna start climbing the roofs, are we?
Maybe there's somewhere to get food or drink and just relax and keep an eye out.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt to be seen doing normal things.
Play the tourist.
Okay.
And worst case, we could always go to the jewelers. But if we're waiting, if we get there too early, we could ask the question, and if we're there too early, we can leave back. Make it seem like we've just turned up. We didn't realise.
Okay, let's make our way to the plaza then. Suppose maybe take our time, casually strolling.
I think we should walk.
Are we going to go the long way or just make our way there and see what we see?
Make our way there, I suppose. Keep an eye out.
If we're wanting to be seen, then walking there may be the best option.
We don't want to look too much like we're trying not to look suspicious. There's a middle ground.
We want to be seen, but we don't want to be seen like we're wanting to be too obviously seen. Blending.
Yes, I know you're right there and you really like pizza.
So you
I
start.
think we should walk.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're gonna start
walking.
walking towards the plaza of the Houses of Arcanum. As you step out into the streets, you notice they are, for this early in the morning after you've had your breakfast, which Volgear so heartily debated for, which was a fairly nice, a good portion for what you got. It was a heavy, very generous portion. Nice big greasy meal to start your day off right. You
Always
step
good.
out into the streets, and they are abuzz. There are people everywhere. You see self carriages going around. People are talking. Compared to previous days, everything seems quite glum and a bit downtrodden. This is definitely a more involved city, and as you kind of like take in the sights and observe like the southern city which has come to life in, maybe the 7 a.m., 8 a.m. kind of like time of day, Maybe it's just that little rush hour, people going to work, you know, maybe it's just that. But you see this huge airship kind of doing like circles of the district, and trailing behind it has this huge projected arcane illusionary sign, which says like, you know, important announcement today, midday, houses of Arcanum Plaza. All citizens must attend. So it's like going through like a little flashing like every now and again, and it's playing this like loud fanfare of music from these huge, big like almost think like. Have you seen the different variants of the trombone? Is the best way to describe it.
What you just described to me there, I just had the image of Hunger Games. The music when they enter the big...
Little bit. It's lots of big curled trumpets, like a huge, like... But they're not playing trumpet fanfare. It's like big booming, like, music. You hear different instruments all being, like, arcanically projected through. And I would say probably Boren could make me a history check. If you would like.
Wrong guy.
Not Boren. Barros.
Barros.
Why did you make yourself a B4 character again?
Because he wanted to confuse you. Oh.
No.
Just like
I
me
think
knowing what
Ryan's
character you're
frozen
playing,
again.
you've no fucking idea.
Yep, that's music.
Well, that is music.
And it's loud.
Go on your bed, go away. Stop looking at me this time.
Have we lost Ryan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think his PC's crashed again. Wah, wah.
Or
So
he's
be right
just
back.
really
We'll get Ryan
intense.
back aboard.
I'm gonna whiz.
And technical difficulty resolved. We are back. You guys are making your way all the way to the plaza of the House of Arcanum. Unless with that sign you would like to defer anywhere else. It seems, pardon me, it seems like nothing is going to happen until the midday segment, at least as far as the announcement. But going earlier may mean you may catch things like the setup, or, you know, try to like hide yourself in plain sight beforehand, things like that. It's completely up to you. Are you happy to continue all the way to the House of Arcanum?
I might want to pop past the jewelers.
The House of Arcanum, by the way, for clarity, are up here. They are by the cathedral. The House of Arcanum is the big castle-y drawbridge icon, and then the actual plazas, that kind of area all around it with the big fountain and all.
That there.
That's the market.
Oh, okay, so that's why I thought that.
That's the Grand Market. So that is
So
where there
where
are
we
riding
went-
stalls and things. Yeah.
Where I went yesterday was effectively the.
So this is the cathedral.
And we're
Yeah, that's the cathedral.
And this is
And that's
the-
how. So the plaza is the entire raised run all the way around there with the big building with the blueness roof. It's not a very large space, but it has a lot of like open like area around. Like it can be seen from
I
quite
know
far
this
away.
is probably like a fountain or something, but my brain is just saying Ferris wheel.
No, it's a glass floor. There's another one there. Look.
Oh. So
I wanted it to be a fountain.
You said it was the 11th of Mert.
This is a hole.
It's the 11th of merits. Yeah.
Yeah, for 3074.
Yeah.
B.
Right, no worries.
Let's see. So
date's at the top.
you want to go to the jeweler, so
You would have to
You're
go
like
around.
Google mapping it.
You'd have to go around this
this is my job, George.
You'd have to go around the self-carriage Maximus. You actually would have to go down almost towards the docks, past the general store. You would that area there would be very very difficult to squeeze through. You probably better stick to the roads.
So
It could be done, but it's very much like going down an alleyway, you know.
We're trying not to look suspicious
So
here.
basically like this. Like that.
Effectively, yeah, that's roughly what we'd be doing. Probably more of
So,
a snake
why
on
don't we
this
go
road
to-
here. I guess.
Why don't we go to the marketplace on our way over?
I mean, we
See what's
might
going
as
on
well.
there.
We're going right past it.
Yeah, let's pop in the market.
Maybe we'll get a
He
good
froze
deal.
for a second, and my heart stopped.
Hmm?
Whenever Will was going meow, he froze for a second, and my heart stopped.
Going too fast for the camera.
Cool, so we are going past the marketplace.
So we're gonna go this way.
Yes.
We're
Go
gonna
to the
see if we can
market.
get some good deals at the market.
Praise
Get
for
some
about
doodads and
then
thingamabobs.
We're gonna get
Doodads,
Window shop.
thingamabobs, and-
tomatoes and goat's cheese and halibut.
and bruschetta, or whatever the equivalent is.
What? Oh no, sheep's cheese. Sheep's cheese and halibut. That's such a ridiculously niche reference. Sylvie! Oh no!
What you do?
She tore up a bunch of cardboard and I gathered it all up and tidied it into a box and hadn't got around to taking it downstairs and it's not in the box anymore.
It's recycling day as well, like tomorrow. So.
Ah.
Yeah, at least it's partially recycled now.
No, George is doing it at 1 o'clock in the morning.
So now I just have this shit everywhere.
Sylvie,
Oh,
just let her have her.
maybe it's a two-person job.
It's fine.
All right, so you guys are heading
Marketplace.
to the Grand Market. Are you now past?
Oh, no, that's right.
Ryan's camera has dropped, but is
It just
Oh.
froze for
Oh.
a sec.
Hmm?
What was the message?
Internal screaming.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Is there anything in particular you would like to look for at the marketplace? The marketplace is still set up, fairly busy in the day. It's a lot of early morning traders. Like you see people selling various wares, especially people who have done things like caught things. You see the sky fishermen have brought aboard some sky fish, which are for sale in the sky fishmongers area. There's also a few
Sky
various
halibut.
sky halibut, yeah, sky cod.
Scald.
Cod, yeah. They shorten it where they can,
Scalibut.
basically.
Excalibur.
Squid.
Yeah, Excalibur is also there, the sword.
One gold piece.
Sky Scabass, because they still wanted to keep the S thing running, but it can't be called sea bass.
There'd just be scass.
Scass. But there's different
Sky
kinds
bass.
of bass.
Sky bass.
Sky
Nah,
bass.
it's kind of like
Is that a sky sea bass?
whitefish.
My fish.
Sky sibba.
Yeah. Is anything you're looking for? Are you looking for any weapons, like potions? What are you? Or are you using for information? What are you hoping to find here?
Cyrus is probably just going to be like listening
Listening
for
in.
any rumors.
Listening and
or...
perusing and sort of like blending in with the day-to-day people.
It's like, this is a nice apple.
This is a nice apple. Seen any Nazis around?
It sounds like the group are attempting to gather information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this will take your morning time slot to effectively do. So you're all going to fan out in this area. You're going to scan for any information you can get, and then reconvene after you've done so. So because you're all investing time in this, it does mean the DC will be reduced. However, I do need at least one of you to make a check. That check will be done at an advantage, or up to 2 of you can make a check at a flat roll. Again, because all of you are contributing to the overall
What is
DC.
the check?
It is probably going to be something of like an investigation check or a perception check, but I'm open to interpretation. If you can convince me, if you're like, I'm going to persuade people, I'm going to talk to people and try to get them that way.
If it's
yes.
perception, I'm really good at that. If it's investigation, I'm really not good at that.
If
Astra
it's
is good at
perception, I'm
perception.
average.
And I will say, the
Investigation,
only
I'm not.
limiter I will put on this is if you do multiple things a day, like in this kind of situation where they are busy skill challenges, you'll be limited to only 1 use per skill per day. So if you use persuasion now, and then later on you're like in the tavern and you want to like, you know, persuade people to tell you some information, you can't use persuasion again because you've already used it this day. So just to encourage, just so it doesn't just become like, well, I've got a +7 in one ability. Does anyone have anything higher than +7? No, I was like, I'm going to insight check everyone, and that's all we're going to do because it's before. So just keep it fresh, let everyone have a go.
Okay, so what if, like, is that per person? Because if we're all in the market and one person says, oh, I want to use persuasion, does that mean they can't use persuasion for the rest of the day? And another
Everyone
person says,
cannot
"Oh, I want
use
to
persuasion.
Right, okay, so you're
It is-
better
it
doing
locks out
2
the
of
skill.
team.
It's still the grip investigation or grip skill. whatever.
In my head, it's if you're like, I'm going to, for this segment, we're going to try to persuade people in the marketplace to give us information. Okay, I'm going to roll, and Cyrus is going to roll, or I'm going to roll with advantage from the group. Like that's basically what it is. You decide what skill you're going to use, and that will obviously determine what information you get out of it.
I'm not sure I want to give up perception.
I wouldn't give up
It's a
perception.
ve- it's a
I'm
very
decent at
handy-
investigation.
And try investigation then, but at advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Volgear, are you going to do investigation advantage?
Yeah.
Again, because
I'll
the whole
I'll
group
give
is here.
One roll. I'm gonna
Because
give
the
one
whole group is
roll
present,
on-
they will give a
cool.
-3 to the DC.
Right, I'm gonna give one on the online, and I'm gonna give one in real person. Use the
Sure.
Kristen the new dice.
I don't know.
Break them in.
It's 11, so 15 on the dice,
Mhm.
or a 16.
16.
That's not.
You begin all fanning out, asking questions, looking around, and although Vulgar kind of leads the charge, and all of you are contributing, all of you are asking people, listening in where you can, doing idle shopping, things like that, like trying to not look suspicious, trying to keep your general notoriety down. You do notice, all of you, that the watchers in the area seem to be, although they are at peace, they are not actively seeking out problems or anything in that regard. They do seem to be very aware of who you are.
We do kind of stick out.
Damn us being famous.
More us being different races than elves.
And I will say, it does seem like... What's everyone's passive perceptions? I think...
17.
13.
16.
So to
11.
everyone but Beros and
Feros is
Cyrus,
straight vibing.
you would probably realize the watchers who you're seeing around you generally fall in the same 8 or so. They're not always there together. Normally it's like a pair or like, a 3.
So we're
but
being like tailed.
it seems like you probably have people assigned to keep an eye on you. Just because of the possible risk you may pose, you imagine. You can try to shake tails, things like that, but that's just with your current notoriety score. It basically means who you are is known, and things like what you're trying to do will probably be attempted to be predicted by them. So they're gonna try to, if you make a plan to bomb the marketplace or whatever, like they were like, okay,
that was my plan.
they're hanging around the marketplace a lot. We're gonna put more guards on the marketplace, so they will try to predict what you're going to do based on what you're doing. So just bear that in mind.
Everyone be boring as shit.
Yeah.
Or be completely unexpected.
What's been like
Beryl,
sold in
shit on the
marketplace?
table.
So, can I just ask quickly, Lydia, what was your passive perception?
Who's?
I saw someone said 16 and 17 or something.
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
16.
Bloody hell.
Insight 16.
They got
too.
eyes on their eyes.
As you
To be fair,
yeah.
she's an owl. She's got, a lot of eyeball to work
I was just
with.
looking at it going, what the fuck?
The whole neck rotation thing.
There's like a guard watching her, and she just like swivels all the way around. He's like,
Why is your character so horrifying?
funsies. The funny thing is that she's like an equal mix of just a little guy and horrifying. Like she's just here to have fun, but also.
also a little spoopy.
You may be watching Atlas, but Atlas is watching you back.
All right, but most importantly, you do gather a little snippet of information as you are spending this kind of like good chunk of time here asking questions, inquiring, things like that. You basically find that pardon me. You basically find that there are some people at one stall who have just finished haggling down and have purchased a vendor, an alchemist vendor, of all of his stock of potions of invisibility. By the time you get there, you do catch them. They appear to be high elf in nature, tucked in their knapsack, and they are doing their best to slip into the crowd. But with your passive perceptions, I will say you can tail them if you so wished.
I would so wish to tail them.
But we'd also be tailed.
Yeah.
What if we split up? Splitting the party is always a great idea.
I will say that will bring your early morning segment to a close. So you've basically realized two things. You've realized that you're being tailed yourself. You've been kept an eye on, and you've realized that someone has bought a lot of invisibility potions this morning, who may or may not be associated with the group that you are hoping to.
I could wild
catch up.
shape and tail them if we can find somewhere sneaky for me to wild shape.
Just like
Can I just summon my Drake? Or my Drake would probably be there at this point and just tell him to follow.
Yeah, you can tell me to follow if you like.
Distance.
Yeah, if you want the Drake to follow, I'm going to need two things from the Drake. I'm going to need a perception check to see how well the Drake can keep track. And I'm also going to stealth check to see how well the Drake can follow basic FBI rules of, like, tailing a car.
I need to get the Drake.
3 to 5 car lengths back, like...
I was gonna say if we were gonna split up while whoever's following, the others could try and lower the notoriety by like doing normal things.
I'd say like
Being
Astra
touristy.
was going to like
Put it that way, form a distraction.
do
I am
thing
not
like-
good at forming distractions, but I am stealthy and I could wild shape into something
I'm saying as well,
less conspicuous.
following this individual will be part of the middle time slot. That is when the announcement apparently is happening, so...
I want to follow.
We'd be best going
I think
through
we
the
could maybe
plaza.
be.
Did that roll anything?
Yeah,
Maybe
roll it.
Atlas could follow, or maybe two people could follow, and the rest go.
Yeah, the rest
So
go
it's
to
a
the
9
So Atlas and the Drake could follow if Atlas wild
or
shaped.
stealth.
Have I seen animals like around the city that would be?
You've seen a
inconspicuous?
squirrel.
You've seen dead skyfish.
Yeah, but like
Any cats?
cats or pigeons.
There's
I don't know what
There-
would be
there-
nice,
there's a
but, like,
selection of creatures here. There's hummingbirds. There's probably there's not many stray animals. in the streets. Any animals you would see would be definitely not they'd definitely not be strays. They would be like
Wildlife.
wildlife. Yeah, even things like, you know, the odd I don't know, like generic and easy to fucking spot, like a squirrel in trees probably be fairly common.
I want to turn into something fairly small and inconspicuous.
That's not a squirrel. 'cause
Or a
Atlas doesn't
wolf
like-
with its flesh melting off.
A rat.
There might not
Well,
be
you've-
rats here, though.
You've
fancy.
seen.
It would be a very clean.
What's the squirrel called? Pip?
Pip.
Pip, yeah, you've seen Pip. You could assume a form similar to Pip.
Oh, sorry. It's 10 and a
I
12.
will try and
For
duck
10 stealth,
off.
12 perception.
I will try and duck off and sort of find myself an area where I'm not going to, you know, shock everyone by turning into a squirrel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you go down a couple of alleys, you know, get a break line of sight, things like that. It can be done. It's not overly taxing to find somewhere out of the walking bystanders. And you wild chip in your scroll.
And then I will follow as best I can,
Okay.
kind of sticking to like rooftops and trees.
As a squirrel and your
as
stealth
a
check.
squirrel would. I don't have a squirrel's fucking stats.
I
Squirrels have
think they're,
stats?
Look at D&D Beyond.
they're basically the same as rat squats? Rat stats.
So
Rat
go
stats.
to your character sheet.
That's
Extras.
Wild
There you go, and then you can pick whatever the fuck scroll will be.
Squirrel.
There you go.
It's a
Scrolls actually
homebrew.
exist.
It's a homebrew.
And click on it and see what it says. Yep, looks right to me.
Cool. I'm a squirrel now.
It's so homebrew. it
Most
doesn't have any fucking
overpowered squirrel
stats.
on the planet.
I mean, I can be
like,
something
pick a
else.
rat.
25 strength.
I'm a rat with a fluffy tail.
It's the old squirrel, is it?
Try not to get eaten by the Drake.
I'm not as stealthy as a squirrel than I was as an owl. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, but you're also less conspicuous in
Eh.
general.
A squirrel acting suspicious is less suspicious. It's like, huh, that squirrel looks kind of weird.
Anything is less suspicious than Atlas.
Rude.
I'm just saying.
How am I suspicious? I'm just a little guy.
Stealth check, please, Atlas, and then a perception check.
That's the Plague Doctor's mask, by the way.
Is perception also as a squirrel, or do I use my mental?
I think if you click on a rat stat, you'll see that your stat's already been fucking subdued in there, unless you think that a rat's got a +7 to medicine.
Oh, yeah. That would be fun, though.
a rat
You
doing
call
some-
me a doctor rat!
What was I making? Insight?
Perception.
Was the Black Plague an accident? Who knows?
I think you get
Oh.
advantage from rat form, though. Please check your rat stats.
No, I'm just picturing rats with little tiny syringes being like.
Yes, I do. Only if it relies on
It was a
smell.
turn. Now you're getting
I will
tested
say
on.
you could try to smell out this individual.
I try and watch them. It's like tiny rat eyes. Better. Must sniff invisibility potions.
So, the Drake unfortunately gets a bit lost in the crowd. The tail's able to shake it. You do think, Vulgar, based on how quickly the tail is lost, that they perhaps spotted the, fairly big dragon walking along, like trying to hide, but not doing a very good job. Meanwhile, Atlas vanishes off and becomes a rat and begins creeping off, following,
The last thing you see is just a rat giving you
well,
a
a
thumbs
squirrel. I
up.
think we're saying. A squirrel of rat stats. So scarping up gutters, running along edges of rooftops, things like that, trying to keep her eyes best she can on the target. But yeah, the scent is the thing that really keeps them in your focus. So while Atlas is doing that, what would the rest of the group like to do on their middle segment?
Suppose head towards the plaza if that's where the majority of the crowd's going to blend in. I feel like Astra is probably doing the thing where like trying on Joey and pretending to put on Cyrus as like a joke, just to be like very like casual,
Having
chill,
so
or
much fun.
Yeah, or putting it on Barros, see if it looks good on him and stuff like that. And like attempting on Volgear, but realizing that's not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
You do notice as the sun becomes higher in the sky, a lot of the vendors here do shop and like are beginning to head up their own way because everyone is interested in what this big citizen-wide announcement is. It definitely has people talking, and people are very curious to see what the goings on are. While that is happening, if you guys just heading up,
Atlas is gonna end up with a group of terrorists and no charisma.
Do we want to be in the crowd? Do we want to be at the front of the crowd? Do we want to be at the back of the crowd? Do we want to be somewhere we can easily get out of the crowd?
Somewhere
I
we
think
can get
we
out.
need to spread out, I think. Just because if things go wrong, then
Disperse.
Or when we stay together and say somewhere we can get out easy.
True.
It might look a bit suspicious if we all separate if they're used to us being in a group.
Let's
is
see
there
if
anything in
they're
particular you're
even
trying to
tracking us.
achieve
Let me just
during
look
this
at
time?
your screen a second so I can spell this bitch.
It's more if something goes sideways and we think, oh shit, we need to get out of here or get to Atlas ASAP. We don't want to be too deep in the crowd, but if we're together, then the guards will see us together and they'll be like, oh, okay, they're hanging out, they're listening to the announcement. That's fine.
True, but if Atlas is not with us, maybe they'll be suspicious.
Atlas is very small. They might simply think that she's been lost in the crowd.
True. I might weave my way through the crowd and have a listen to what's being said, or maybe I can spread some rumors. While everyone's here, with less suspicious.
Try to sow some unrest.
Indeed, I won't go too far though. I'll try and pick out a landmark
I'm
and
quite tall. I can see your horns.
tell them to like stand by a certain landmark.
Your allies?
Yes.
Okay, the best landmark that they could stand next to, that isn't as heavily guarded as, say, the cathedral or the actual House of Arcana themselves, would probably be the kind of like round building on the raised platform, or near the little gatehouse that leads up to the upper city, which is where the crowd, as you get up here, it is dense with people. It's packed out. You can weave your way through and like get to a deeper location. You can surf your way through the crowd in that sense. But yeah, it's not mosh pit levels, but there's a lot of people here. So getting anywhere is not going to be as straightforward as I walk here. It's going to be a bit of a cumbersome. I'm moving through this crowd. So yeah, if you want to be somewhere in the middle, somewhere in that big domed building would be a big good shout. Or the gatehouse would kind of leave you on the edge. Or you could try putting yourself in the cathedral, or the where you think something may go down, or whatever you guys want to do. It's just your call to say where you'd like to be.
I think a little bit in the crowd, but on the cathedral side. So like maybe 3 or 4 rows into the crowd, but if we go like quickest way out of the crowd is towards the cathedral.
The front door is the cathedral, or the side door?
Side door?
Oh, we put you around there.
Yeah.
There's a little run of hedges that you can like pitch up next to. It's still fairly dense. People are like all the way around, but yeah.
That's just my opinion. Anybody else?
I think that could work. Maybe if things go sour, we can make our way inside the cathedral.
Okay. So you kind of get yourself set up, and you begin waiting for something to happen. Meanwhile, little squirrel, you are following someone who's not moving at pace, so you're able to keep up, but you are like, like fucking full
Damn
pelt.
little squirrel
Yeah,
legs.
it's tiring for you. Can you make me a Constitution saving throw, please, as a squirrel, to see if you get exhausted during your chase? Although they move at a leisurely pace, you are running at full pelt for this prolonged journey.
Just hitch a ride on someone.
Is that just straight
Yep.
con?
Yep. Squirrel's calm, baby.
I'm tired.
You take 1 point of exhaustion.
Fucking hell, every time. I just live on 1 point of exhaustion at this point. Fuck, it's somewhere up here, isn't it? I am 1 exhaustion.
Lovely. Yeah, you've been
I'm a
dashing
tired
and dashing
little
and dashing.
squirrel.
So it has tired you out, especially in your smaller.
I also haven't been a squirrel before, so
Yeah.
you know, it's new.
It's definitely an experience. You follow this individual all the way up to a small building, one of the closest buildings to the amphitheater. It appears to be a little house, 2-story, up, down, end of a run, like an end terrace almost. Nothing too strange or startling. And they get to the door, they look left, they look right. They seem to clock you with their perceptions. As they're scanning around, they seem to clock you. And very quickly they move inside and close the door.
Okay. Can I scurry on up?
Yep.
See if I can peep in some windows.
Sure, make a perception check. No smell, that's just a flat roll.
What do your squirrel eyes see? Not much.
You hear movement from inside. You hear people talking in Elvish.
I don't speak that.
Yep.
It's like, yep, that's Elvish. Can I try and like remember, like, if I like lock in on like specific words, can I try and like remember them? You know, like if you hear someone talk in a foreign language, you can like pick out like a word and be like, I don't know what that means, but like I hear it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Here's what
Like this. Juju, blah 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 bomb, blah 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 blah. I
just had the
understood
minions.
that word.
Yeah. I've just had a thought of the minions.
I just like, you know, I don't speak French, but I can speak to 5 and I would recognize it in a sentence, you know? I'm trying, okay?
What words do you know in Elvish?
I don't know. She's grown up in a merchant family, so she'd probably know talk of wine and coin in a lot of languages.
Be like in Irish when you know the word August, but then you know it just means and. So it could be literally been saying feckin' anything.
Alice just gets back and she's like, whoever speaks Elvish, what does this word mean? And they're like, and she's like, not helpful then, okay.
Okay.
I tried.
Here's what I'm gonna do, right?
Okay.
I'm going to read out some German words
Okay.
in German,
Okay.
and then I want you to remember them, and then
Okay.
I'm going to cut away to the other group.
Okay.
We're going to do some stuff, and then we're going to come back, and then I want you to reread in your head without making notes.
Okay.
What? Because squirrels can't make notes.
Squirrels can't make notes.
No, they don't have
It's
thumbs.
a little tree bark.
Yeah, and then I want you to reread back what I've said to you, and if depending on how many of these words you get back, that'll be the amount of percentage you get back of the
Okay.
And
Do
it
I
has to
get any advantage for the fact that she has a lot more wisdom than I do?
maybe I'll be more lenient with the pronunciation, but
Okay.
bear in mind, it's not just remembering the context; it's getting the pronunciation correct.
Okay.
I have not. I could have picked a lot more funny German words, but to start us off, it's going to be Stift, Handy, Fußball, Bleistift, Springen, Dumm.
I've already forgotten all of them.
Yeah. That's what you hear.
Okay.
Okay, other group. We should just keep talking. We should read the numbers off. While George desperately tries to keep repeating.
They're already gone. It doesn't matter.
I mean, all I could hear was like Winter Soldier, Freight Car, Yellow,
Yeah.
Wind, whatever it was.
Have you seen have you seen like the new Ghost Files, and they use the omnibus, and it's like light rain, heavy fog, like that kind of like bullshit.
You're not helping me. Keep going.
Yeah, that's the point. It's not supposed to be easy. So you all in the crowd waiting, you see a stage has been set up kind of in front of the actual cathedral itself. The stairs have been actually boxed off with an actual kind of like scaffolding that makes a makeshift stage. And you see maneuvering themselves kind of into position in the middle of the stage. You would see Alara Villaroon, the Archmagus, and she appears to be joined by a cluster of about a good like 10 other people around her. She moves up, points her wand to her throat, and then whenever she speaks, the amplification of her voice rings out across the crowd. She goes, "Thank you all so much for coming." And then we're gonna cut back to Squirrel, who's frantically repeating stuff. Do you want to repeat back what the elf said?
Stift?
Yeah.
Something... Foosball?
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's football. Kleinstift? Something like that.
Anything else?
I don't remember. Kugel.
No.
The only word I know in German is Kugelschreiber.
So you got stift, you missed handy, you got Fußball, you
that's
mispronounced Bleistift as Kleinstift, which you've basically, instead of saying pencil, you said little pencil, or little pen, sorry. So you basically saying something like small dick. You also missed springen, which is jump, and dumm, which is stupid. So I'm going to say you got about 40% of
I'll take it.
of what you hear. And I'm going to say 10%. I'm gonna say 40% of what you. I'm gonna say no, a straight 50%. However, a third of that 50% was mispronounced. So that was your Kleinstift. So it's like, yeah, they said something. I was like, when we get back to them, you can relay, and I will. I'll
and
relay.
Then someone else can make a check
Yeah.
to see if they can work out what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay. So while
I'm also going to wait out there as long as I deem. Where am I at this point? Like, what am I closest to?
you're at the amphitheater, you're down there, at that house.
Okay. I'm going to stay there as long as I deem safe to, with my wild shape not running out. If I reach a point where I think my wild shape is going to start running out, then I'm going to start heading back towards the group.
Okay. After probably about a good, considering you left,
And
not
she's just
in the-
repeating Elvish words in her head this entire time.
Considering you left, not like you didn't leave at the end of the time. So that's not really how it worked. You probably had to like follow them for a while. There was time. Your group finished up what they were doing in the market, and then they headed up towards the actual announcement itself. You hear, after maybe about 15-20 minutes, someone opening the back door of the establishment.
Okay.
You scuttle over the roof,
Yeah.
have a little peer. You don't see anyone, but you do see the door
They're invisible.
closes itself.
Who could
And
have seen that
with
coming?
your passive perception, you see footsteps being left in the
Can I follow?
dirt and stand. If that's completely up to you.
I want to follow.
Okay,
With my sniff.
sure. Make me a perception check with advantage, please.
You can't invisible your sniff.
Okay, with 21, you follow them. They actually climb a
They're
rope,
stinky.
which is affixed to this platform here, which climbs them all the way up.
Mm-hmm.
They move to a wall here, and that's when you begin to lose them on their foot ground. Luckily with your smell, you will keep track of them. They go over this wall, under the glass, the beautiful stained glass bridge, under this main street, and they actually approach the cathedral itself completely from the rear.
Okay.
You see one of the large stained glass windows has already been smashed, but there's been a big wooden panel placed over it. And as you hear the hello, thank you all for coming, ringing out across with the magical enchantment, that's whenever you see the wooden board lift up Not enough so that it only looks like it's been holding on by like 2 nails on the top, so the bottom is pliable. They see lifted up almost like on a makeshift hinge, and you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then it seems to stop, and the plank falls back over itself.
So I'm seeing it like open, close, open,
Yeah.
close.
It seems like someone's going in, there's a pause. Then with a big noise, someone else goes in.
Okay.
You had ample opportunity to say, I'm going to jump through, and you did not do that. The plank is now shut. And
Okay.
you're a little tiny squirrel.
I am a little tiny squirrel.
You think lifting that will be not possible?
No way for me to squeeze my little squirrel butt through a
No.
gap.
It was deliberately put there to keep out things like
Squirrels.
predators or pests.
Birds and stuff.
Like squirrels.
Yeah. The squirrels here are notoriously carnivorous. They're like little piranha.
They eat other squirrels.
I didn't say that they were
It's
cannibals.
a circle of squirrel.
Pushes Pip further into.
Astro just feels like pinpricks on the back of her neck, and she's like, must keep squirrels safe.
If I can't get in, I'll just keep watching from a distance. In case that shit
You
blows
can probably
up.
scuttle back up on the roof if you want at the cathedral itself, or you can double
I
back.
don't want to scuttle onto the roof of the cathedral in case they blow it up.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna keep watching that window.
Sure. So you're like on a building nearby.
Yeah.
Alrighty. That means all of you will hear the announcement as it is being projected magically across not just the upper district but the entire city. So even if you chose not to attend, you are forced to listen. As you hear Archmagus Laria Virlune speak. I'm sure a lot of you wonder how we have come so far so fast. That is because we are brilliant. Each and every one of you. Now, time has come for change. Change can be scary. Change can seem unnecessary at first. But after time, you will come to realize it makes all of our lives better. The gods have spoken. And you hear the crowd.
Am I within hollow strap range of my buddies?
How big is Hollow Shop range? Like 60 foot, 120 foot?
150?
Where you are right now in the far side of Cathedral, you're probably more. You're just out of range, but you maybe aren't really aware how close you are.
Okay.
Because I don't think there's any communication of what they would be doing. Because you just said, I go to an alley of wild sheep and I fucking follow.
Well, we were going to go
It's
to the
15,
cathedral in general.
Yeah.
15 feet.
Okay, then no.
No, it's definitely bigger than that.
Oh, it's...
It's 150, I think it should be. It's like a message.
okay.
I mean,
That may be a
can I
typo.
just try? I'll try messaging and see. Because I can't tell if I'm in range or not, can I?
Can Atlas see us from... She's on a roof.
What do my
a
squirrel
perception
eyes
check.
see? I mean, it's a fucking crowd of people. I doubt I can see you, but...
Cyrus is quite tall, though.
Yeah, and I suppose you
fair
do stick out quite a bit, don't you?
And Sarah and Ash got big hair, so.
Just see
15.
one horn poking out
You
from...
clock them. They are probably about 300 foot off.
Okay.
But, you know, if you rooftops along, you could probably get close enough to them to use your hollow strap. You would have to leave your squirrel form, though.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I was gonna try and warn you guys shit was going down, but I'm not leaving.
Okay.
Just in case.
Guess
You'll
we're
be
listening.
fine. You're sturdy.
Some
In
of
a
us.
mere 20 days, at the celebration of the RA Day, we will do something that no other elf has ever braved to do. We're going to take this city to the stars. You hear the crowd where before with the gods, the hubbub and bubbub. You hear more discussion, a bit of panic, dismay, fear, maybe perhaps
The
excitement.
squirrels do have stats,
Um,
but they're just rat stats. They just have an advantage on dex.
Now, do not panic. We have done many tests. We would not simply throw our lives away for nothing. We know this will be safe. And when we are there, we will be able to take all of Tilm's progression, resources, trade, economy, diverse populace, and we will be able to share it outside of the planetary confines of Kemnor. We could go all the way to the Omphalos, park next to it if we wished, do what business we had. We would not even have to keep our ties to the amalgamate. We could break away from that union and go on our own path, forge our own stronger economy, make links to the Draccord Concordat, go to where the heavens and hells preside. Things that you and I, we could only have dreamt of until this moment. Tebs and vessels that can do this, they're expensive, dangerous. But the reason why people use them is because they can do great things. They can generate great amounts of wealth, power, as well as culture and art. The fusions we could create across stars, across systems, across the entire of the Expanse. Why limit ourselves here? And you hear the crowd beginning to kind of get on side of her there. Definitely, there's a bit of a build-up. While this is happening, other group, Beros suggested he might be trying to sow dissent in the ranks.
I did.
Did you hear the rumor?
So it sounds like Atlas has gone off on her own and she's had to make all of her own checks. So she's not included in this group check anymore. She's excluded from you guys.
I do like this.
Does that mean if
Volga
they
got
choose to do
talked to
something
about
and then
leaving on
later
his own.
I can choose to do the same thing?
I mean, the
If they
crowd
choose to do a
is
check
different.
now and then I come back later, can I choose to do the same check?
It boxes it off for the day.
Okay.
It's just to keep things. You can't spend a whole day looking, you know. You gotta
I
do
can
more.
and I will.
Gotta do more than just look with your eyes. You eventually reach a point where looking your eyes has exhausted itself. You know. That seems to ask for clues, like begin actually turning over stones, talking to people. You know, it's like that thing. It's the idea of you can't brute force something. You have to try different things.
We've already used persuasion, haven't we?
No, investigation was
You
it?
use
Yeah,
investigation in the
Market.
in the market.
So I think maybe persuasion might be a good start.
Because Atlas went off on her own, she did lots of little small checks for an overarching goal, so that doesn't really count to these big ones. But bigger checks like this, these big, like, this is what the most of the group are doing, those are the ones that really going to affect your majority.
I'm just off doing squirrel
Doing squirrel things.
things.
Yeah,
Before
so,
you smelled, you wanted to.
Are all the
Perfect.
group hoping to sow dissent? Or the group wanting to split? Or some going to want to, like, look for things? Like, what's the...
I think Volga's still more leaning towards looking for answers, so he's going to go looking more than
Are
sowing
you, just
dissent.
are you just going off on your own then?
No, I think
He can perceive from
he's
where
going
he is.
to kind of look, says the one who's left on their own.
I would try to leave with your dragon, but he's shit at his job.
He is
I
a
think
big
I'll-
dragon.
Barris will turn to kind of the rest of the group. I think before kind of the announcement in prep, I think this would be a good time to sow some rumors and maybe sway people that this isn't a great idea.
May I remind you, we are
what?
being watched.
Simply
everyone-
walking through the crowd and reacting to her speech isn't going to draw suspicion. Just simply,
Everyone will be talking during her speech.
we are
so-
simply involving ourselves in
Yes,
conversations
if
with other people.
someone turns and said, "Oh, I couldn't believe they imagined this," we could reply with something like, "Oh, we've heard of another city on another system that tried this and it didn't end well." We could be subtle about it. We don't have to be like, heretic and whatever.
Little rumors, like the siding with the dragonborn may mean war. We
Leaving
don't
the
want to.
amalgamate could be more disastrous than beneficial.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I hate to say that they want to go with the Dragonborn, but I will. I don't agree at the moment. I will stay silent if that is what you wish to do.
But independence also means isolation. If you cut off ties to other people, then if you need help, they're less likely to aid you if you have double-crossed them. You know, so we could sow doubts.
Again, I think I will stay separate to this during this time. I'm not 100% committed
Do as
yet.
you wish. But
I think Cyrus will aid Barros.
Okay. So Cyrus and Barros are doing descent and rumors.
Astra probably go with Felgear just so no one's alone.
Okay. Vulgir and Astra, anything particular you would like to do, or are you still going to watch and observe? Because that in itself can be beneficial.
I am kind of running. I'm kind of keeping my eye out to see if I can spot anything
Yeah.
that looks
Astra-
untoward at the edges and whatnot. Or
Astra be
once.
actively.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Astra be actively like looking towards the cathedral after what happened yesterday. See if there's anything suspicious.
Alrighty. Then let's do our sowing descent check. Are we good at this? This sounds like you are trying to persuade people. You're not making up fantasies. You're voicing genuine concern here, I think is fair to say. So either both of you can make it, Cyrus and Barros, or one of you can make it with advantage.
I'm gracefully gonna give Anthony advantage because I know Cyrus is not very persuasive.
He doesn't trust his new dice.
He's not. Oh, but don't do that to me! Don't do your
It's a
DM, your
nat
DM
20
mind
and a
tricks.
23.
So Barros, you begin spreading these whispers around, kind of airing your concerns, and yeah, you do begin to see the crowd is beginning to, where she's making good points and trying to win them over to her side in the best light, you're almost cutting in and undermining them the same way, and essentially you don't. With 23, it's very good, but it's not the crowd turning her revolution viva. It's not that. It's instead of her winning over a large majority, you're able to sow serious doubt in a large group of people fairly quickly. So for that, I'd like you to roll me a D100, please, to see what percentage of the populace feel swayed by your influence.
8.
8%.
Oh my god.
But that 8% is really into
is
it.
there an advantage on that one because there's 2 of them sowing dissent? God damn it! It was worth a shot.
It is
No,
it
I
is
get
literally the
Barros.
equivalent of going out in fucking London.
Can we give you
I
it
give
though?
Barros advantage.
Not on D100 rolls, only on D20s.
Oh, come on, we remembered it exists.
It's like the equivalent of going out into London and being like, hey, you want to overthrow the Prime Minister? Like, some people are like, yeah, fuck him, he's an asshole. But like, most of them are like, no. Like, it's not an easy pitch.
You
But
should have let us do that. It's less chance on a D100 that we'll get a good result out of it.
yeah. But yeah, so you basically like so innocent. I will say right now, the 8% of people you do see the doubt in, they are 100% not fans of the idea. So like, you know, that's for day one.
They were already unsure, and then you said a good
Yeah.
point, and they're like, "Yeah, you're fucking right."
You've cement there. It's unlikely unless something tremendous happens that they're going to flip flop back to the other side. They're fairly well placed there. Meanwhile, Vulgir
Also,
and Astra.
You are like one person, 2 people going around a crowd of hundreds.
I'm hoping
Thousands.
that it'll kind of ripple out, you know.
Those people.
Like you make
so
a
that-
point,
that-
and then like they make a
Like
point.
That
That's
8% could realistically be like 80 people.
Yeah, it's not a small percentage, yes, but not necessarily a small number.
And it's about like the slow build, you know? Like you convince like one guy it's a bad idea, and then he goes home and he's talking to his friend and he's like, I don't know, don't you think that like siding with the Draconics could mean war? And they're like, that's a good point, Steve.
Yeah.
I'm curious to what would have happened if we got a 99 or 100.
Revolution.
The whole crowd just is like, no!
Erupts
the way it would have worked
into
would have been
riot.
it's small and concentrated or large and dilute.
We want
Small
our
and
3
concentrated
million from
is,
the
is
NHS.
honestly could be viewed as better.
Because large and dilute, she might just make another good point and they're like, yeah.
The perceivers, the watchers. If you would like to make a perception check, please. For Astra and Vulgir. Ever one advantage or one invisible?
Bless you.
I have a +4.
I have +6.
Yeah, you can have the advantage. Off you go.
Okay. Not the time to lie. Is it? Again.
Oh, 1. That's nice.
Perceive,
Ooh,
Astra. Perceive like you've never perceived before.
Astra, you see, like you're scanning around.
Does she
On
see
a
me
building
with that? Just like,
behind the cathedral, there's a little squirrel watching all this as this is happening. But Astra, what you
it
do
gives you a
notice,
thumbs up.
is you do hear the sounds of a bit of a scuffle from within inside the cathedral. And before you can even voice your real concerns to the group, it goes quite quiet quite quickly. And as you're kind of scanning, trying to look through windows, peering, see what's going on, you notice the cathedral is still decorated in these big, like, spears and pikes that jut out from, like, the barricades that are around it that have been established with all the heads. You notice some of the heads begin to shift and move, and the bodies begin to twist and turn, kind of like how you'd noticed before. That almost like
they're
how
trying to get 'em
they're dead,
back.
and you see that they are pulled off these thorns and like spikes, and then as they are pulled off, they vanish. And there's maybe a few moments, and then you saw something else appear, another corpse impaled on there. This time the livery different, long blue flowing cloak behind, the symbol of the city on their chest. It looks like one by one the corpses of the traitors are being subbed out for those of dead guards, the dead watchers. And it looks like whoever's doing it, the second the body becomes off the thing, it looks like they're being encapsulated in invisibility, and then after some time, you probably would hear the squelch or the crunch, like over the big volume and noise, and then after a few seconds of that noise, as if they were released, suddenly you would see them appear, like there. And whereas the other bodies twitched and moved, these ones appear at the moment unmoving.
I'm just gonna ask, Harry, why are you this kind of DM, finding characters like trauma points and just being like force feeding them to the characters? Astra doesn't like blood and brothels. Here you go.
I feel like Ash is gonna purposely like throw up in her mouth like a little bit, and then she'll like start tugging on Vulgir's sleeve. And just
don't throw up on Vulgir. He's so much shorter than you.
Oh, you're gonna get in his beard.
Oh no.
she'll like sort of like nod towards the things, like take the bodies off. Oh no, there's other bodies on there.
I'll have a look up and spot what I...
Yeah, well, if it pointed out to you, you can see it. It's you probably honestly don't notice it until the swap has already happened. You never catch a swap, Vulgir. With your passive perception, they're doing this very quietly, very slowly. It's only just with a 25 that Astra got. The 21 would not have cut it.
I feel like she's gonna like turn and like try to catch like Cyrus's eye, panicked, and then look towards the cathedral again.
Is there a way of making it towards it a bit?
You can try to move for the crowd towards the side door. That's where you position yourself near. Probably take a couple of minutes of slow moving because it's quite packed, you know?
Yeah.
I suppose with a 13 passive perception, Cyrus is not seeing Astra in this crowd.
Cyrus seeing Astra?
Seeing Astra. Like,
no, you're too busy sowing dissented rumors. You're going around you're like, we'll meet back here, and then like you've gone off. You know, it's kind of you're trying to move for the crowd. Like, probably people are like, you know, what do you think about that point? Like, you're there like actively for the whole speech you're doing this, and the speech still goes on. I'm not gonna like fucking mince words about it, like, but the general context of the speech is
we're gonna be so much better in the sky.
She outlines that, you know, there's gonna be 1 million chits given to the LFHS, you know, by separating like a load of really compelling points.
Doesn't matter if she
a big double decker.
Yeah, there's a big double decker airbus going past it on the side.
If it's on the air. Doesn't matter if it's on the airship. It doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Happened on my planet. They promised like free healthcare, and then they
And
just
you know all the old
do it.
elves are gonna want this to happen, and they'll be dead before it even does.
In 20
And all the
days.
other random
In
elf
20 days.
fans getting roped into.
But the most breathtaking moment of the whole display, which you all would probably catch just before people reach inside a cathedral,
me?
or
Do I see it?
yeah, you would catch it.
Okay.
The Archmage stands tall, and she says, "I know some of you will have doubts and fear, but like I said at the beginning, it is natural. Change is scary, but it is for the best of all of us."
Not
And
always
as
for the
she steps forward, she pulls back her mage's hood, and you watch as
Oh,
her.
she's gonna be something weird.
She had this really like
She's gonna be a hag or
traditional
something.
high elf, like long flowing silver hair, sapphire blue eyes, pale skin, and as she steps forward, you watch as her just general everything almost begins to glow.
Oh, that's much less gross than I
You
expected.
see this star-dazzling gleam in her eyes that before were that full blue, they shrink down with black sclera and black irises, and the pupils are this beautiful blue starry radiance. Her hair, starlight seems to emanate from it, and her skin itself just has this warmth to it that is almost unnatural. And she stands there and says, "I am the first of the astral elves. And if you would like, you may join me on this journey. For those of you who have doubts, we will not force any of you with us. You have 10 days to get your affairs in order, and then the city shall be locked down. Until then, this is what we could be." And she throws her arms out in this grand display, and you watch as the midday sun vanishes and the sky becomes dark and purple, and mysticism twisting of oranges and blues and greens whisk through. You see the twinkling of distant stars, constellations, the burning of suns in the distance, as this huge projection, time shift, you're not entirely sure, washes over the city. It's real enough that the lamps in the city that normally only trigger at nighttime all flare to life, giving a real warmth and glow to where you are. And just as she's... go ahead.
Can I insight or religion or history or something check this?
Arcana?
This would be an
Arcana's not very
Arcana
good.
check.
I'm not very good at that, but I'll try.
Astro will probably try it too, even though she's got nothing.
I am not afraid of the spiky dice. I should be afraid of the spiky dice. I got a
get?
5.
Looks like
magic,
magic.
No, it doesn't look like magic.
Doesn't look like magic.
Looks like this woman has just changed race, and no spell was cast that you saw. It looked like maybe a glamour was dropped. It actually looked like a spell was removed from her, as if this is her true form. The first of the astral elves.
Is that allowed? Is that like blackface for elves?
I feel like it's
It would be like
more
blackface if
white
Michael
face.
Jackson was doing it and then revealed he was white. Like that would be. You
I was
know, I
about to
think it's
say,
his
yeah.
allowed to do
Who
it.
was
You know?
the
Or
woman
the other way around, yeah.
who was like pretending to be black and then it turned out she was white like the whole time?
Oh,
Her
she
name,
did that.
Rachel something?
She
Yeah.
did the ancestry check, and she's like, "I want to see how pure black I am." and
No,
then she
no,
had-
like she knew.
Rachel.
It was I can't
Like
remember
she
her
wore
name.
like that dark a fake tan that she would.
Yeah, and she like did her hair in like braids and shit. But she like had like a fairly high up position on like some African American like council thing.
Oh yeah.
Can't remember her name. Anyway.
Not right on. But yeah, none of you have ever seen any elf like this before.
Can I boo her as a squirrel?
Yeah, you boo her in a very high-pitched squirrel voice. Hang on, if I just
Does Pip join in?
And there you go. Pip also joins in. I can't remember Pip's voice. I always forget Pip's voice.
Squirrel uprising.
Like
Look, you may have got 8% of the
Pip-
elves, but we're getting 100% of the
I don't
squirrels.
know why I make all the familiars really posh. Like the dragon is also quite posh.
Jinx wasn't posh. He was like kind of cockney, if
Yeah.
anything.
The dragon is a dragon. It makes sense why he's posh. Why the squirrel has a god complex, I'll never know.
Pip.
I
give
think
me
you were
the-
channeling
Sir Laura.
Sir
A
Laura.
little bit, yeah.
Pip gave me the dandelion from Erois vibes whenever you first voiced him. That's why I was laughing so hard.
I can't remember the name of it. That's not from a rose though. That's from Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
Yeah.
The Dandelion Knight. And his love, the bee whose name I've forgotten.
Yeah.
Priscilla or something dumb. Regardless, different campaign, different storylines. But yes, the speech completed. That is when those of you still in the crowd, which is going to probably just be Beros and Cyrus at this point, you hear panic and chaos sit in as people have now suddenly clocked the bodies behind the Archmage are those of the Watchers. And you probably notably hear from someone who was agreeing to one of your points call out quite loudly, "Is that an omen? An omen of what is to come?" And then you see the Archmages whip around, as do the rest of the Council of the Elders, and they realize what's happened.
Ta-da!
And you see as she pulls the wand away from her throat, and a few of them both wave their wands, and a huge wash of magic washes over, and it looks like a spell is being cast on it, and you would watch the bodies turn back into their original form that was there before. And then the wand back to her throat, and she goes like, "Don't fear, just a few scared children trying to scare us all." And she scans the crowd with a real knowing look, as if she's looking for someone. And it looks like they've made out that they've dispelled this illusion. But
We know it's not an illusion.
those of you who
They're
saw,
not spelling it, they're casting it.
those of
Yeah.
you who saw would know the truth. And those of you who know the truth are currently at the side door to the cathedral.
Oh, what the? Are we now covered as far as we can tell?
There's been a lot of confusion and chaos and panic. It's probably a pretty good time if you want to try to break in, because it is going to be locked, you imagine.
Do I see them?
Yes, you would clock through from here, because you're on that side. If you'd like to join.
Yeah, I will scurry down and I will scurry up onto Astra's shoulder and try to look Pip-ish.
Okay.
I feel like my
Not
drink
not
will
to
try
trick
and eat
her,
you at
just to
some
like,
point.
you know, if anyone sees.
I feel like Astra probably know because you could probably still feel.
Yeah, like
Pip,
Pip is
like,
like down in
oh.
her cloak somewhere and it's like, oh no, I am Pip.
Which is me, Pip.
Just me, Pip the squirrel.
Pippity pip pip.
I'm fucking
Wait.
crazy.
Because Astra is a squirrel, does that mean she understands squirrel right now?
No.
She maintains all of her mental stats.
I feel like Pip should talk away to her. It's like, "Who the fuck are you? Get off!"
I don't think I can
My person.
speak though, can I, in
Leave.
wild shape?
No.
But I can make squirrel noises.
Sounds like squirrel, but it's kind of like speaking like gibberish in squirrel talk.
It's like pig Latin.
Cyrus is probably gonna like try and find Beros in the crowd and be like, should we go to the cathedral or the cathedral, or
I think we've done enough here. Let's get out of it before they start panicking and trampling.
yeah, try and push through the crowd to get to the cathedral.
Astra will. If she taps on the holo strap, can she just send a message like directly to Cyrus or Barros?
Yep, can do. It will be projected 15 foot around them. Remember, it's not a.
Oh yeah.
You gotta make it like cash.
Yeah, nah.
It's like having your phone on
Forgot-
speakerphone. It's literally that's what it is.
Forgot my key. I can't get through the door. Could you help?
Yeah, it goes to the door. What are you doing?
What do we see at the moment? Are we just next to these bodies?
You are not really next to the bodies. You're in the middle of the crowd. Sorry, Volga. You're the bodies themselves are more focused on the front, like at that big frontal display. To the side, there's one or two on the side, but nowhere near as many as the front. But yeah, there's this little side door that leads in.
Bodies?
Yeah, you could still see bodies, and there's people around you. There's still a crowd here, and people are still listening. And you know, now that the Archmage is finished, it looks like one of the Council of Elders has stepped up and is putting on like a musical performance to like round off the thing, to kind of give people an excuse to like slowly trickle away, or you know, stay and talk, things like that, just to give a nice little you know, back and forth.
Wind down.
It appears to be being orchestrated by someone. You see like a female high elf woman, long flowing robes. They all have these big heavy vestments that they wear that all symbolize their position. You're not overly familiar with them. However, you do see she has set up a choir in like almost like an orchestra style setup, and she takes the front position with her wand and begins waving it and casting spells and, you know, kind of conducting in that sense. But the entirety of the choir are all magical creatures. You see there's a wyvern in the back. You see there is like a variety of little small like fluffy cats with like two heads, like meowing to tune, like as they like it is a real, like, not quite a frog choir, but it is a magical creatures choir who are radiating out their sound. It is surprisingly musical.
Hmm.
Good covering music though.
We go back and try and find them.
Or do we go? If we leave
The
now,
squirrel
we might
will
not ever
pat
see
your
them.
face and then point at the door.
That's all I need. I'm gonna give it a go at the door.
Okay. Are you gonna just kick it down? Are you gonna try to pick it?
I
Just try to
can't
open
pick
it.
I've not got tools. So I'm gonna try and see if it's open to start with before
Try
I
to open
kick
it?
it down.
It is locked.
Always good to check though.
Mm-hmm.
Cyrus is probably gonna try like grab
Can I
him
try and-
arm and like lead him through
Like-
through the crowd.
Quietly break it open.
Sure. Make me a athletics check and a stealth check to see how quiet you can be. Because you're being quite loud in what you're doing, I can say stealth will be a disadvantage.
Sure.
One more time.
Oh, I'll take that.
Volgir, you
Ogre's broken into a
Saddle
few
up to the
places in
door.
his time.
lean against it, you try the handle, no dice.
Volga's
like-
pissed.
Lean back away from the door, like almost like you're like, you know, like kind of bouncing back and forth on the balls of your feet. And as you lean back all the way, you fake a stumble and collide with your dwarven shoulder into like the door frame. And it is right as this
Low
musical
center
choir
of
are letting out
gravity.
a big like cacophony. You hear the wyvern like fire being jettisoned into the air. You see the cats like a real, like they're really getting into it just as this happens. And you feel the actual latch break on the other side of the door frame, and it sits just ever so slightly ajar, but it's like could not have been done better.
Ooh, I like that one. I'm gonna sneakily open the door, sword drawn.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna use my dagger at the moment.
Okay. You hand on hip,
A bit more close combat.
peek the door open, slip inside yourself. I assume Astra and Squirrel follow.
Astra will follow in, but like push the door close and mend it a little bit so it looks like it hasn't been damaged.
It relocks behind you as well because the latch is still out. So you lock it behind you, fixing the door frame itself. The cathedral here is dark and unlit. You see...
what? Let's say, what do I see?
It is a serene, spacious atrium. You see like soft, natural light coming down from the stars in the sky, filtering through the stained glass windows that are depicting these scenes of fae and natural beauty. Immediately, the smell of flowers, the soothing sound of birds' songs fills your ears. It is a sight to behold. These huge, almost ancient tree-like columns support a magnificent vaulted ceiling, adorned with delicate interwoven branches and blossoms. You see this like huge altar carved from ancient wood, and dome of vibrant flowers and offerings kind of stands as the focal point in the middle. And there's little smaller alcoves and chapels dedicated to different archfey, kind of all scattered around the place. Compared to the last one, this is much bigger, this cathedral. And you see each one of these little archfey is depicted by various fey creatures, animals, some just by plants. But what you immediately notice is there is a group of about 8 individuals here, 3 of which are on the ground, unmoving, and there are several bodies around them.
Are they all like Dryad's Tears or some of them?
They're all elven in look, as you kind of like look over the group. Because you were so high in your break-in, they don't appear to have initially realized that you are even present.
I want to switch to my longbow just in case.
All I can think is the person who
And
clocked
duck
me
down
earlier
behind
as a
something.
squirrel being like, I knew that fucking squirrel was following us. He brought backup.
You hear a woman speaking in Elvish with a fairly like short, measured like volume.
Does anyone
Do
speak
any of you
Elvish?
speak Elvish?
Yes.
Volgir.
Hey,
You hear her speak,
we got one.
and she says, "We don't have time. We've done what we needed to. Now we need to go back. If you have the strength to carry them, carry them. If not, we should do them the kindness of just finishing the job now."
I'm gonna kind of, rather than say anything, I'm gonna look at Astra and look at the rat and just kind of go, like. Just
I would
kind
like
of like
all 3 of you to make stealth checks, because now you've been in the room for a prolonged period of time. This is when you can, like, a breath might get let out at the wrong moment in the quiet.
I'll take that.
Volgir's good.
Oh,
The squirrel on your shoulder is good, Astra. But Astra, as you see, like, Volgir doing some weird hand signals, you actually let out an involuntary what? That
Oh, no.
echoes through the chamber.
You
And
just feel something move underneath your cloak. Like,
they whip round and they see you. They don't seem to spot Volgir, who probably ducks behind a pew.
actually, Atlas probably gets out of there, so she just jumps from your shoulder, like, yum.
And you see this group looking at you, and they are armed, and some of them are bloody, some are injured. But one of them kind of strides forward, and you see this female elf. And although it is dark here, you can still see her long hair cascades all the way down to her waist. She's got these determined-looking eyes and like a hooded cloak kind of pulled up over herself.
as she comes up, if she goes to strike, I'm gonna shoot an arrow in her back from the side.
Yep, she just takes a step forward in front of the group, and you notice she has these 2 like swords between her shoulder. But she notably has a little short bow kind of in her hand, and a few quivers kind of like on her belt as well. And she kind of calls forward. "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
In common or in Elvish?
She calls it out in common.
Okay.
No one really. We're just investigating everything.
We?
Okay. Atlas, as the squirrel, will run in between, like, Astra and this woman like a fucking, like, a guard dog would. Like,
Okay.
fully bristled attack squirrel, ready
Seeing
to
something
go.
move in the darkness unsuspectingly, you watch as one of the arrows from her quiver, she notches. I would say, Volga, you recognize with her, like, the skill of like a hunter or a ranger, someone who is very familiar with their bow, and half draws it back, like instinctually, ready to like let off a quick shot if required. Until realizing there's a tiny little squirrel in the way, going like,
doing what I'm doing at the moment, notched, ready to go. It's like,
Yeah,
and she like sees that, pauses, and she says, "I advise whatever it is you're investigating, you forget what you saw right now. Let us go." And you watch as a few of them like try to, and it's clear that of this group, nearly half of them are unconscious or maybe even dead.
if you
Help
just
them
see
out,
Volgir
cleric.
just nodding from the corner, just nodding yes.
Wait, I can help. I can heal.
Make
Let
your
you move
persuasion
quicker?
check.
I would try and give you an advantage in some way, but I'm a squirrel.
Squeak, 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 squeak,
Squeak, squeak, squeak, squeak, squeak, squeak,
Meanwhile,
squeak,
while this is going on,
squeak,
I
squeak,
think
squeak,
Volgir's
squeak,
trying to get to, like,
It's
a
like the
different location.
fucking-
Moving around.
A bit
It's
right.
the fucking
Yeah.
squirrel in Emperor's New Groove.
Squeaker.
In a good angle on everyone.
Are you moving
Both
towards
friendly.
the front door of Volgir or to the back windows?
I don't know what the layout of the church looks like, so
It's a large central like dais in the middle, and then there are pews kind of like circling out from it, kind of similar to the other one.
Right.
And then there's a longer like single channel that goes to the back.
so I think if you've got like them up here, and we've come in down here,
Yeah.
he's kind of moving off to the side so we can
that's
access
fine.
both.
Are you going to move towards the? You can do that from either angle. Are you going to move towards the front door, or are you going to move towards the back windows?
Back windows.
Okay.
No. Yeah, back windows, but I'm going to stay far enough away from them that if someone moves towards them, I'm not going to get spotted.
Okay. Yeah, so you kind of like move about maybe 45 degrees around, not the full 90 you
Yeah.
would need to get there, but like halfway. You like meet yourself in the
Yes.
middle. Alrighty. So with that in mind, Asher, you call out that you can perhaps help, and there's a pause. And you see she turns to someone, she begins speaking in Elvish. Volga, you would hear her. She would call out and she would say... Yasin, take Ruel to and see if she can help him. And then you hear the other one go, what if it's a trap? Don't worry, we have you covered. And you would watch Astra as one of these individuals, one of the slightly more bulky, like elven men, begins making his way forward towards you, and he's got slunked over his shoulder a fairly like lithe-looking elvish man in comparison to the one carrying him, who is, you can see the chest rising and falling like haggardly. There's a bit of a stutter to it, and he slumps him onto the pew next to you and takes a step back, but then a hand goes to his dagger.
Asha like crouches down, looks up at him, slowly touches the elf on the floor, and will
I make a
try.
medicine check and see if I know what's up with this guy.
Squirrel hops on his
Quick
chest.
question, Harry.
My name is Dr. Rat.
If you try and do a spell with a verbal component while you're stealth, does it break your stealth?
My name is Dr. Rat.
It would, yeah, because you've to.
Yeah,
It's like being like
to Ash.
Wingardium Leviosa. It's like that level of like.
Yeah. No, I'm
Can't
just
think
that's
of
why I
one.
thought I'd double check before I scream out that I do something. But
Oh, to be fair, Asha will probably check over the body first, like, see before she.
Sorry, there's just something so funny about 25 medicine rat.
Yeah, they are unconscious. Looks like it was done by.
Lay my little squirrel paws on him.
They were not unconscious by a few crossbow bolts that are currently embedded in their stomach. That did them in, but they've been stabilized badly. So someone has tried to apply healing salve to the wounds, but it's only about to stabilize them.
Point at the crossbow bolts, turn to Asher and be like, "It appears this man has been stabbed," but all you hear is squeaking.
Astra will first cast a healing word on them at level 1.
Sure.
Do roll for 7 HP.
How much time has passed? How long does wild shape last?
Your wild shape lasts as many hours as you have druid levels,
Okay, that's fine then.
I think. And yeah, you cast the healing word, Astra, and you'd watch as this individual's staggered, haggard breathing begins to become smooth, like you'd expect of someone normal, and their eyes flutter open, and you see him lean forward and groan and just speaking again in Elvish. You don't understand him.
Nope, 1 hours, apparently.
1 hour.
It says 1 hours, which is weird.
It does increase, I think, at some point.
Class level,
Divided by 2
and
round
then
on.
divided by 2.
There you go. Yeah, so you're probably encroaching on the end of your wild shape.
Okay. We should either get out of here before that happens, or you should explain to them that I am not a squirrel. But I cannot explain that to
Astra
you
knows
because
nothing of this.
I am a squirrel. The squirrel will make some panicked squirrel noises and then tap their wrist like it's a watch.
It looks like the squirrel wants you to talk to them with their hollow strap. You're not sure.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Sorry, I don't read
Squeak,
analog, I only
squeak,
read
squeak,
digital.
squeak, squeak.
And you hear Yasin call out in Elfish Volgute here. Rahul, are you okay? I'm good. Oh, it really hurts. Oh, doesn't feel so bad. I don't want to look. Is it bad? It's you're fine.
It's not great, buddy. It's not
Come on.
great.
We need to move.
Squeak, squeak,
Kvesin
squeak,
and
Squeak, 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 squeak.
Kvesin and Fela are still unconscious. Help me at them. And they will slowly limp back.
I
You
don't
watch
think you're
as
meant to
she
lift
keeps
people
a
after you've
keen
been
eye on
stabbed.
you on your own here, as far as she's concerned, with your little squirrel buddy.
Well, she's not alone.
And I'm
She
keeping
has
a
a
very
buddy.
keen eye on her.
A buddy, a pal, who's
She has
frantically
two
trying to
squirrel
mime
buddies, actually.
clocks to her.
You see, she
I'm trying to
squeak,
I'm trying to
squeak,
keep a keen eye on her, and if she looks like she's gonna shoot, I'm gonna try and beat her to the punch.
Can I try and make a performance check to see how convincingly I can explain to her that time is running out of my wild
Go for it.
shape? I have terrible charisma, but
15. Make me an insight check, please. You need to roll a 5 or higher. I think you will automatically succeed.
come on, Astra.
Yeah,
Pick up what I'm putting down.
She picks up what you're putting down so well.
It's basically like you speak squirrel.
I think Astra kind of like looks and just does like a blink downwards as if she understands. And look, we don't have much time here. Both in terms of they're going to come in here eventually. You need to get your comrades to wherever. Is there somewhere where we can talk after this?
Yes. Are you coming with
Where?
us? Or are you staying here?
I'm going to go to Dodge. I need to meet my comrades.
Alright. Then I would move quickly. I imagine they're going to come see who swapped those bodies out fairly soon. And then she looks, and now that they're like, have at least one more, they can carry to a hand of the other ones and kind of like usher them at some speed without needing any more of your healing unless you wish to spare it to them.
Astra will give another healing word.
Yep,
This
you
is
get one
level
more
1.
up. So there's only one unconscious now, and you can easily ferry that one. Still slows them down in general, but they will do their best to ferry that one back.
And 6 to that one.
Still enough to get them from unconsciousness. They were all stabilized, luckily, but some were very close.
Does it look like their exit's more subtle
they are going for the back window with a bit of plywood kind of like folded over it. Considering the fact you have now resealed the entrance you came in, it looks more subtle in a sense you probably won't have to make as much noise to go out it. But you see she leads them up, and they get like that large individual out, and then they kind of follow him up with the others, and then the body kind of comes out in the middle so they can like pass it over so he can still be supported, and then she waits at the very, very end, turns to you. She undoes a clasp on her bracelet that she's wearing, and she throws it towards you. And you see it has a symbol of Serpan on it, like a little silver bracelet. If nothing else, it would at least be worth something, you imagine, to the right vendor. And she says, I don't believe you work with them, so I'm taking a risk. We'll be reconvening at my home. It's the closest home to the amphitheater. We'll be there until sunrise. And they then she moves up to the door. She clambers out the window, and as you kind of like move towards there as well, like watch her go, you see they begin heading kind of like western on the way, and as they get to things like a street that needs crossed, you'd watch as they would all group up, and a few of them would begin formulating some kind of like spell, and they almost like, you see like she seems to generate a little portal, and they're able to like move through the portal over a very short distance, like 30 foot or so, and then the portal she seals up behind herself, and they like are using that to get around semi quietly and like without being seen.
And as soon as they're gone, Cyrus and Barros come crashing through the door.
I imagine that is probably roughly the case. You go to your rendezvous point, you do not see anyone, and it's probably around then when the hollow strap message goes out of where the fuck are, like, I assume that's...
Yeah.
I think we need to get out of here pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Come on.
Out of where? We're at the rendezvous.
out
Where
the
the hell
window.
are you guys? Out the window? We're outside!
What?
Yeah, let's go.
We're coming.
Why is it
Squeak, squeak,
sitting on
squeak,
speaker?
squeak.
Sod off, go away.
You move to your incoming calls, and you climb out the window quietly. And yeah, because you're using the their entrance, it's fairly well hidden and disguised. It wasn't discovered, so you're able to loop back around to your allies and meet them. And the crowd at this point are about 50% have dispersed, I would say, at this time. But you would notice all but that one member of the council have dispersed, and you see a large group of guards are now moving behind the stage, and they're getting ready to breach into the actual cathedral itself.
We should get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, Barros is like mid-lock picking the door, being like, well, they said they're inside, so we better get out there quickly.
As
Cyrus, like,
walks past, he's just gonna whack Barros across the head and go,
everyone's
you're going in the wrong direction, you idiot. Come
I
on.
feel like Asher probably actually just grabs Barros and starts walking, just like, let's go.
dragging
You
it
guys are
away. Like,
terrible
"No,
with communication."
nearly got it.
So what you get is you get a whack over the back of the head with the blunt side of a dagger, and then just someone grabbing you by the cup and starts dragging you away from...
Why are you so violently like attacking me for saying turn around? Such a violent dwarf.
Okay. Tavern
Eh,
or brothel?
what time is it?
Actually, don't have enough time for it.
It's not been too long, to be fair. It's probably encroaching on the like, it's probably been about a good hour or so of, you know, moving around, performances, talking. It's happened fairly quickly. You know, it wasn't a short announcement. So it's probably, you know, 2 p.m.
Probably need to go somewhere to get lunch.
Maybe do somewhere crowded so we look touristy.
Why don't we go to the marketplace?
Is there a
Yeah.
cafe or something?
Let's just go to the marketplace. I'm sure there's a food stall somewhere.
Make
We
yourself
don't
known.
want to go back to the marketplace, surely. We've already been there once. Will it not be suspicious if we go straight back?
No, because we're going to get food. So,
And it was closing whenever we were there.
yeah. So I'm assuming someone's open. They're opening back up now that it's finished.
Sure.
Speaking of... Have we got everyone?
Yeah.
Yep. We may need somewhere quiet, so
Where's the small thing?
the small thing is smaller, and we may need somewhere less suspicious for her to be D-small.
Right. Okay then. I'll leave you with that one. We'll go to the market.
Alright, you start heading towards the marketplace.
Astro probably like duck down like an alleyway and sort of like pretend to like fix her boot and sort of like drop.
Yep. You try to drop the scroll off. It's gone.
Yeah, just stand back up.
I like to think you drop into like pitfalls out and you're like, there was another squirrel in here at some point.
Wrong squirrel, get back, Pip.
What? As you walk out, it's just like, I thought you were getting the small thing back.
Are you talking about me?
Atlas is behind you.
Fucking
Jump scare, like completely.
That's fine. Right.
Have you seen the clip of The Office where like Jim's in the club? It's just like that. Oh fuck!
kind of as we get to kind of the outer markets, I'll kind of just turn around. So what the fuck happened in there? We were gone like maybe like 20 minutes.
Does anyone know what foosball is?
I believe that's a sport where you play.
Would I know
Liked ball.
what Elvish words she's trying to speak?
Is she
Oh, yeah,
relaying
same.
to all of that conversation in the marketplace? Is she relaying to all that conversation in the marketplace?
No, I just asked what a foosball was.
Sure. A foosball means potion.
It means potion. You're talking about the elves?
I've been in the city for a while now. I've been hanging out with elves, and I'm starting to pick up a few words. I think it's fun.
Oh, very cool. Well, so yes, the foosball shop.
Yeah.
Very
Can we
cool.
please get lunch and then figure out what the hell happened?
That's fine. We've got. I think someone has made a meeting, and Olga will just cast an eye towards Astra.
Astro will do
keep
it
moving.
look like I don't know what to do.
So we have a meeting with who?
Not
Public place. Let's get some food.
We're in
Yeah,
public.
Nice, quiet
exactly.
place.
Let's
nice,
get
quiet
some
place.
food, Barros,
And let's get some food and beverages and a nice quiet place.
and then you can.
You
And
mentioned
let us
having
have a
some
lovely
friends in the
conversation.
city, didn't you, Astra, on the way over here? From the temple.
Oh yeah, in Apple we can go there. It's pretty chill.
Yeah. If you guys want to head south towards Temple of Anapa, you certainly can.
Yeah, we met
there a
Wade the
food
other day.
stall?
He's very chill, and I
Food
really
stall on the
want
way.
Cyrus to meet him because I feel like that's an education for everybody.
Food stall, please.
I got food on the way. There's a place we could swing by.
I'm not going to a temple on an empty stomach.
It's a really nice temple. It's got like this big loud waterfall.
Yeah, it's peaceful
Nice.
and quiet.
I would like to purchase some food, please.
Sure. You on the way past. Most of the food here that you can get is on like street food stands, stuff like that. The one that is the most popular that you can see is called Not Just Vegetables.
It's just vegetables, isn't it?
And you
Is there
see
a
the menu,
way-
Cyrus, and it's things like a variety of different things all written in Elvish. You're not really quite sure what they are because you don't think you speak Elvish. And the person on the stall turns and goes like, and then they speak in common to you quite kindly, and they say, "What would you like?"
Some form of meat.
Sure thing. We call this the speared pork. How do you like that?
Sounds good.
Sure. And takes payment up front. It's 10 shits for a serving. So a mere copper piece.
Can I see if the menu actually contains this food item, or whether or not he's being?
They're giving him the
Swindled into
special.
eating.
What it roughly translates to is green spear bundles in bacon. It would be more apt of translation. And you aren't really sure what a green spear is until you see Cyrus handed what is effectively a bacon rasher wrapped around about 4 sprigs of asparagus with a fucking stick slammed through it. Like, it's like asparagus wrapped in bacon on a stick.
Sounds
I
good.
honestly thought you were gonna say asparagus wrap leap. Then
Cyrus will eat the green stick.
It's a little funny, the green spear that was given to you, but the bacon's well cooked. And the fats
think-
are nice.
But I feel
Volga
like,
is just gonna order a load of bacon.
I'm amazed you can eat something skewered after that show.
Just a
Asher, like,
skewer of bacon is
blanches
good.
for a bit and like tries to find a store selling duck.
I was like, what? It tastes good. Here, try some Astra.
Skewer bacon would be about
There's a bit
30
of
chits 'cause
bacon
it's a
just
more
like
premium
peeling
ingredient than
off.
the asparagus.
I'll
I feel like
give it.
Asher like friggin' backhands it into
Trauma,
your face,
trauma,
trying to get to the
trauma,
duck.
trauma.
Hey, don't.
So
taste
after
food.
you've eaten that,
Trauma.
Cyrus, Volga's just sat there picking parts of bacon off a skewer that he's just brought off your a full skewer of bacon.
Does it cost him more?
Yeah, it does. Costing 3
Cyrus
times
is-
as much.
Cyrus is a brokey. He doesn't care. He got fed.
And
Is
yeah,
there anywhere like selling duck or something?
after a little bit looking around, birds aren't super common up
We're
here.
in the sky. That's where birds go.
Yeah, not ducks though. You do
You get sky
find
cod.
you do find there is there's a lot of vendors selling what's called what they refer to as sea fish, which at first you ignore, and then after about 10 minutes, 15 minutes of looking for poultry, you realize very quickly sea fish is just birds.
I am a
It's
sea
just
fish.
it's just what they call it's just like a bad translation. You
I
think?
am a sea fish.
But like things like the sky bass that was described is literally just like a big gull, and like it's a very weird but it's just bad translations that kind of like have transcended in a weird way.
Asher would probably be like, how much for the sea fish?
For the sky sea fish, yes, that is
Yeah.
it'll be for a whole one. We'll call it 400 chits for a whole one. They're big.
4 chits would have been a bargain.
Half of one?
Half? Yeah, we'll do
Or
Well,
just like a portion of breast meat?
if it's just a portion, we'll call it 150 for a portion of breast.
Okay.
Do you want extra gill?
What's the gill?
And kind of gestures to the wing.
Sure.
Cleaves off like the breast with the actual wing attached to it still. And whenever you like inspect it, it's definitely something off about these birds. They're not quite birds.
Just wave it at us. Wave it at us.
Asher like kind of looks at it suspiciously and walks over to Cyrus.
There's something fishy about these birds.
There is
There's
some fish
something
with
dirty about this
and-
fish.
It is honestly, it's how the flesh of the meat looks. It doesn't have that.
Flakes.
It almost flakes like fish. But like, it must come from a bird. Like the way they're shaped and the way that And then you see whole ones there. Like that's a duck. You look at it like that. There is a duck. That's a dead duck. This is a plucked duck that I have, but the flesh is like almost the texture you'd see in like
There's
like a
something
monkfish
magic
almost.
about these bird fish.
Maybe it's a fish to look like a bird.
It's a monstrosity, that's what it is.
Do you want some? I got it thinking it was duck
Yeah, sure.
or some kind of duck.
It is currently raw. You just bought a portion.
I mean, I'm an owl.
Well, you can eat it raw.
Nah, seems like a bad idea. I don't know how much of an owl I am. Can I
could
eat
cook
things
it
with
for
the
dinner.
bones and then do the
The thing
whole
is-
thing?
If it's fish, then it's okay to eat raw, because
If it's
sushi.
poultry, it's not.
But if
Also,
it's bird,
also depends on the fish. Please don't just eat raw fish indiscriminately. It has to be sushi
Yeah.
grade.
yeah.
Well, we
Do
could
not
go
just buy salmon from Tesco and try to eat it. You will throw up
No,
so much.
I won't do that.
Let's go back to Anapos and cook this. I'm sure Wade has a kitchen somewhere.
I mean, Astra can just, or Atlas can just make a bonfire.
Yeah, but we're kind of out in the open. Don't want people to get injured.
Yeah, Cyrus, I can't just make a bonfire in the middle of the street.
I mean, you made a bonfire underneath a man in a shop.
That man was being unkind. The
There
street's
are
not.
unkind people here.
Yeah, but not right here. You're being unkind. You want a bonfire?
If you give me a bit of the chicken fish, I will.
I think it's more fish.
Deb's
chicken.
your it.
You eventually make your way down through the streets. You find a ferry willing to take you over to the Church of Anapo. It will cost you 100 chits for the journey, for the whole group. If anyone would like to
Go
follow
on. Oh, fuck
I don't
it.
know what it is about wild shaping, but I would murder a man for a peanut right now.
You see the water flowing down from the Temple of Anapo here on this little floating island, like being tethered alongside the main Sky City itself. And as you step inside, you see it is a little bit busier than it was the last time you were here. The water cascading down to the actual edges as it did before, filling the area with white noise. And as you enter, you see the priest, Water Ganassi, long, kind of like flowing water-like hair,
It's
kind of
your
like
boy.
constantly moving, like wide eyebrows that kind of come out, a very kind of like half eye open expression as he looks around, and he goes, "Cha, whoa, did not expect to see you here so soonigans. And
Oh my
looks
God,
like
I
you
hate him
brought
already."
company."
Oh yes, Cyrus here is very
Yeah.
religious.
Yeah, he was very eager to meet you.
Spandalific, bro.
What?
Spandalific. It means like spectacular and bandalific.
I immediately want to throw this one off the edge of city.
Whoa, man. You need to be more like, at a nice easy river right now. You're like a steaming kettle. You're all hot under the collar, man. We don't
Wave,
need
do you
that
have
here.
any like private rooms for prayer?
Yeah, I have some private rooms for prayer. You want to go smoke or?
Not right now. It's just
I mean, I'll smoke.
the
kind
crowd
of
was kind of a
cigarettes?
bit much for everyone, so
Yeah,
we're just looking
kind
for
of.
somewhere quiet.
Sure. Yeah, I can sort you out. And he like moves along, kind of like squeezing past people. Sorry, man.
I've just
that
got
would
the
be
image of the turtle finding Nemo.
And he leads you like to the back of the temple.
He's trying to communicate with me. I know it.
Like through a little side door, and you kind of find yourself after going through a little narrow corridor. He says the first door on the right. There's a little room with a little small window open up to the air. You see there's a huge fucking shisha in the middle of the room, pillows everywhere, and you see just like someone straight up unconscious. He was like, "Oh, come on, man, you can't sleep here, bro. Come on." And he just like picks him up, like, "Sorry about this guy." He just drags them
You're
on.
great,
Like,
Wave. Thanks
you're
so
all
much.
good. Come on, wakey. You're breathing. You're good. And like just like dragging them out. I'm in the door.
Is it the guy from before, or did his wife collect him?
It's not the guy from before, no.
They were like, "Hey, we can't fix this guy's brain, so maybe we just stone him out of his mind."
And as you all gather around this shisha pipe, I'm gonna call a little beer back, just cause.
Get our talk on.
And we're back. So you're all in this little private room in the back of the Temple of Anapo. Wade has left you to your own devices to discuss whatever you need to discuss, smoke whatever you need to smoke, and eat whatever you need to eat.
Okay, who's going first?
Okay. First of all, the people that were spiked originally,
Sorry, the asparagus.
the people that were on the thing originally, I think the Dryad's Tears took them off, replaced them with the guards, even though the mage person dispelled magic, she didn't. People that are on there are dead. People that are on there before were alive.
But the
So-
people that were on the plants are guards now, so is that not a good thing? If the guards are killing and torturing people?
I
think-
followed the people who bought the invisibility potions to a house on the corner near the temple. And they snuck in the back, but I didn't manage to follow them. And then what Astra said happened. And then you talked to them afterwards.
Yeah,
While this is going on, Volga's like patting down like everything, looking for any
Also,
hidden.
can someone push this
Investigate.
giant sheesh thing against the wall or something? Because the smoke is absolutely killing me amongst her from being a squirrel.
Asher
safe,
like
Volga.
pointed like out the window or like try to aim the smoke to go out the window.
It's not like actively lit. It's just like the leftover residue.
And then maybe cast Gus like get the get out.
They seemed
Yeah.
reasonable. I mean, they were scared.
They
And
could have killed me on sight and they didn't.
yeah,
I healed 2 of their people. They're going to meet with us. I asked if they'd at least just talk to us so we could figure out what's going on from their side.
So
they're at
we're
least willing to talk.
sympathizing with the Dryad's Tears.
We don't know.
We're talking with them. We don't.
She
Like-
said, I don't think you're with them, which I'm assuming is the mages, but
The astral elf.
yeah,
whatever that
has
is.
anyone ever seen something like that? Because I am not super well traveled. Like, Veros, have you ever?
I don't think I've seen anything like that.
No, well, has Asher?
I mean, I've seen like a glamour get dispelled before, and that's kind of what it looked like. But I don't know what she is or how long she's been that.
Can Volga seem to jog his memory and see from other times he's seen things go about whether it actually looked like a glamour was going down or if it was actually a glamour going up?
Yeah, make an Arcana check. In retrospect.
Oh,
19. Volgir, that was unmistakably a glamour being removed. That is the true form of whatever that was underneath. At least the true physical form. There are ways to alter your physical appearance beyond illusion magic. But you're talking like wild shape, polymorph, things like that. You're aware of those other spells.
What she had up before was an illusion, whether that is the final form
Yeah.
or not.
You would know for like a 19, like some spells are as powerful as the ability to shape the fabric of time and space. Like there's rumors of like a wish spell out there.
Oh, that's not that powerful. Any old bard can do that.
But you know, it's one of those ones where you know it's almost like a level that there is complexities in magic that can be unheard of. You know, like it's not unbelievable somebody will achieve the physical form. Whether or not that's what happened, you aren't sure. You didn't see any obvious thing. But then again, if it was something like that, that spell probably needed to be cast in advance. But again, with 19, normally a spell of that level would require concentration to maintain. So probably would have had difficulty also maintaining a glamour at the same time.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, but well, me and the Cyrus were not there, but did the Dryad's Tears seem to be
They were defensive.
Aggressive?
No,
No,
they were defensive,
they were wary, but they weren't.
and they were armed, but they didn't threaten Astra, and they let her help. And they're willing to talk.
They told us where to meet.
I mean, maybe a lot of the extremists ended up getting killed, and I don't
These
know.
are just.
So
If we go and talk to them, then we need to find out what their
How
intentions are.
old did they look?
How old did they
What's
look?
the plan?
Yeah, like in general.
She looked for an elf to be around about middle of her 200s.
So they were young. She looked young.
And the rest were similar.
Too
kind of
young
age.
to be leading a terrorist organization.
In comparison to our priest. Sorry, Cyrus. Go
Well,
on.
they did invite you back to her house. I doubt she's too intelligent to
So we have
exactly tell you where she is.
we
Or
have
maybe
a
she's just
relatively
desperate.
so we have a relatively young group of elves, the
Yes.
Dryad Skiers, and we have a 700-odd-old elf that at some point in the past, maybe coinciding with her revelational dream, became a separate species.
Yes.
As far as we can tell. Side note, she was talking about separating from the amalgamate and siding with the draconids, and that feels dangerous. I mean,
me and Barrows were on top of that. While she said we can side with the Dragonians, we were saying, that could lead to war. If they want to leave the amalgamate, that could mean isolation and therefore lack of help or aid. We were basically
They're not.
trying to counter argue every point that she made.
They're not exactly
I think we had some effect on the crowd.
near the edges of the space, so they can't exactly get out of.
But that is
Place
not the
too
point, Vulgar.
It doesn't matter where you are; it's whether or not they ally with.
Yeah, but why would you
mean-
ally with them if they're going to cause everyone around you to be hostile to you?
Politics. Try and leave the
But
amalgamate
make
in a peaceful way, and then
It
from what
does
after the
Galadrius
amalgamate-
was
it makes
talking
you
about on
want
the
to-
ship, it sounds like the amalgamate has ships nearly as big as this city.
It makes you think. It sounds like there's something a bit more different at play because no one in their right mind, considering where they are, would suggest that.
I think
what
she
you're
has another
thinking.
motive.
Yeah.
She's doing what she's doing.
She may be a draconic spy. Maybe
As much
her
as I
vision
would
was given
love-
to her by the dragons, and
Or
very much
she's the
ones
first
pushing
of
this
her
agenda.
kind, and she's thinking if she does enough, she will be worshipped as a god herself.
Maybe she's a pawn for somebody else.
Maybe.
I'm about to say, as
Whatever
much
it
as
is, I don't
like
think it's
your
pure
idea-
altruism that has caused this idea.
Oh no, she
No.
definitely has an inflated ego.
Oh yeah, but I don't think. I think there's some influence playing here because what would make one elf or one set of elves turn against the rest of the elves?
It's
Like
not
so
even that
badly.
it's not even that she's turning against them.
Well, she would be if she went to.
No, but she seems to believe that she is above them, that she is an evolved form.
But if she
Seems to believe
leaves
that she's above
the
everything.
amalgamate, then is she not turning her back on them?
She seems to think she's above the amalgamate, the draconids. She seems to think that this city is special.
But she also spoke of some kind of transformative magic that she's capable of, because she said those that side with her will also reach this astral form.
Yeah, that's weird, because, I know there's spells that can change your form, but it's not like... You don't get to pick, you just come
you
back as something new.
I've never heard of any case of magic that can literally rewrite your DNA.
No,
Oh,
it's
unless-
possible. They,
Unless they do plan on they do plan on making
you have
everyone.
to die. You
You
die and
ever-
have a body made new.
You
What if
say
they do
this,
that with
but
everyone?
have you ever seen anything like her form?
No,
Oh, we're
This
dead.
is new.
Astra,
she.
the more you think about it, because you were the one who faced off against her, it was hard to tell in that dimly lit temple. But with your passive perception, you're pretty sure you saw the twinkle of starlight in that one's eyes as well. Now you're thinking on it, like thinking back, like in the heat of the moment, it was hard to pick out. There's a lot going on, but like as Beros says that, as he like outlines that point, you almost have this like snap realization.
Maybe not.
What do you mean, maybe not?
The other elf, now that I think about it, now that we're calm, she had eyes like the mages.
And this is what Alara looked like. That
So
would be the
what?
woman who was
Maybe
leading the rebellion.
maybe she knows. Maybe she knows more. Maybe she's
Maybe
not
she's
the
a-
Dryad's tears.
Maybe she broke away. She knew it was going to happen.
For all we know, they could be related.
Maybe. Well, either way, I think that it is worth our weight in gold to talk to them.
We need more information.
But if we are going to talk to them, I think it's worth
I mean, if we talk to them
making
now,
making it inconspicuous. If we all turn up at some random person's house in the middle of
I
nowhere,
think tomorrow we spend the morning making disguises or something.
but she said that she was
Squirrel
only there
form
till
coming back.
sundown. So we've got to go there today. We can't wait till tomorrow.
Not sunrise.
I mean, I can squirrel up again. It'll be my last shot of the day, but you know, not much
don't know
more
if you've noticed.
inconspicuous.
But I'm not exactly inconspicuous.
Is it worth two people going on
I don't.
far rear guard and watching the surroundings while some others?
I don't like that, but they've already seen Astra.
Mm,
And
many
if
of them
someone
were
else babysits Pip, if Astra gets caught alone with a squirrel, it's not going to seem at all suspicious, you know?
How many were there?
6,
8.
8.
Yeah, I don't like those odds. Two people going in with 8.
They didn't seem
Possible.
hostile.
Yeah, at the moment.
What if we go in a couple at a time?
I think it would be better for the whole group to be there, whether we go in one at a time or together, but simply splitting up to deal with it if they turn hostile.
I'm not
No.
suggesting we split up. I'm saying that we take our time entering. Because if we've got eyes on us, we all know that. We're not going to be blind enough to assume that they've not got someone watching us at any one time.
Does anybody know what time the market closes?
No.
Unfortunately, you've only really been here like a day. I don't think you know that information just yet. You could go ask around. That would be. You could go spend time ask around if you like.
I suggest we send.
What color are our bedrolls?
Your bedrolls? Probably traditionally like a brown.
Mine's blue with little stars on it.
Yeah, unless you have anything specific, I guess. But like a traditional bedroll would be brown.
I have a picture of it.
What if we modify a piece of clothing that we already have, like a bedroll or something, and make disguises out of it, or even just hooded cloaks? Something to
Maybe
hide our
I hate
identity.
to break it to you, Cyrus, but we could throw a sheet over your head and your horn's still gonna show.
You're not exactly inconspicuous.
Oh, you
Well,
can't
who-
see
who
it.
here
There it
knows
is.
magic?
That's my bedroll. It's so cute.
Does anybody know any disguise spells?
Nope.
Not beyond turning myself into shit.
No.
Just
I-
send me an Astra. We'll get out fine.
If you want, you can.
We can
stay back
both
from a
fly.
distance. Like their home is.
flying's not very useful when you're indoors.
Their home.
And also the fact that the guards can shoot you out of the sky with pinpoint accuracy.
Well, we're not going to be
They're-
escaping the guards if they turn on us.
Anything, we are already being watched.
I just think
Like-
that traveling as one person is going to be less conspicuous than traveling as 5.
Their home is the
And I'm
closest
more
to
scared of the guards than I am of these people. So far, we have watched the guards pull the memories out of someone's head and shoot someone dead in the street. The worst we've seen these guys do is fight back and not against us.
I would say
We
if
don't
we're
even
gonna
know if
send-
they're the Dryad's tears.
I would say if we're going to send the 2 of you in, there should be at least one person with them, and the other 2 wait outside, wait for a message. Or a
Well,
sign.
it would
Within
probably,
earshot.
it would
I think
probably
Astra
need
was
to
trying to put
be.
them forward as well. Just
Yeah. The closest home to the their home is the closest home to amphitheater. Even if we all walk towards the amphitheater as a touristy group, and then some of us just turn off.
It would probably be best if Volgir went. He's good at long and close range, and also he is a lot more stealthy than.
He was hidden in that church and they
also
didn't
not.
spot him, not one of them.
To be fair, I completely missed him and I didn't realize he had gone.
So maybe me and Barros hang back as backup.
Or we can find
would-
something to do.
I was about to say, the added
Hold.
bonus of you having someone on the outside that can pick a couple locks, if worst case comes to worst, you can still get in.
I know how to pick a lock.
Even if
Just
you head to the
take out the door.
amphitheater, you are still close by, I think.
Should we make our way over then?
If nothing
what we
else,
can
we
do.
know that they at least somewhat trust Astra. At least not to report them to the guard or stab them in the back immediately.
Can you even turn into the same squirrel again?
Yeah, one more time unless I rest here for an hour.
Oh, is it worth going into the
If-
squirrel and worst
if
comes to
they're-
worst?
If they're leaving at sundown, we probably don't have the time. It's gonna take us a while to get back there.
I'll tell you what, to make it even thing, I'll put my spare clothes on. And I'll take off my armour and put on my common clothes.
Also, you might want to remove your badges. Just
Yeah,
in
my
case.
badge is off.
Yeah.
Right. In that case, me and Barros could go to the
How
amphitheater.
tall are you?
Oh god. I don't like that. Don't like it when you ask that. So. 4'2".
I'm not saying for now, but just for the future maybe. Or maybe now, I don't know. We're almost the same height. If we dump a cloak and my mask on you, I bet at a glance people might think you're me. People don't take much notice of the rest of me. They normally just see the mask. I'm just saying it might be handy
what
if
if
I'm
that's-
otherwise missing.
Well, if that's the case, I can always follow on, and then I don't have to hide. Change out of all this stuff. Minimize what I'm taking.
you would also know that
In my squirrel form, it's here and there.
I probably just need the mask. I've got a cloak.
you would know that Atlas's form hasn't been compromised like Astra's has though at the minute.
If you are going in alone, then I suggest maybe knowing what to ask them. Maybe dropping the squirrel form
I'm
Atlas.
planning on dropping the squirrel form once I get in there. Just to get there so the guards don't see too many of us walking around.
You
Well,
look
yeah.
over and Wade's just in the corner, like hitting the big rip on the fucking like she's just like, whoa, this fucking shit's got real heavy all of a sudden. I let myself back in, hope you don't mind. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You're good, Wade.
Not to worry.
We're just
Right, well-
getting deep. Real
If
deep.
I'm going to be on
Like the
guard duty
Marianas
for the-
Trench, bro.
I don't know what that is.
Me either. It's not on this planet.
Neither is he right now.
if
I'm
be
going
on
to
guard
leave before I
duty-
start choking. Volgar, you want the mask or not?
I'll take the mask and I'll put it to one side for a minute. I
Alright.
don't know if I'll wear it or not, but I'll put it to one side in my
Question.
backpack.
Are your lungs still buggered as a animal? Or do you have the animal's lungs?
Ooh,
I
have the
questions to be asked.
I have like squirrel lungs.
Yeah,
I mean, I
but
still got
are
really
they-
tired, but I was just because I was a squirrel.
No, my question is does wild shape give you some reprieve from your body's afflictions?
Oh yeah, I can breathe.
Mhm.
But I also don't fancy spending the rest of my life as, a cow or whatever.
No, I was just curious because magic is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, when I turn into animals for my planet, it kind of hurts everywhere, all of everything. But I think that's
Yeah,
just
I've seen one of the planet animals from your planet. I think I can understand why that is.
yeah. And you haven't even seen the half of it. Like,
Mm.
you should see a deer, man. Those
well,
things are
te-
freaky.
Technically, I saw half of it. It was missing the other half.
Hey, it had the other half, and some halves of other things also.
That doesn't make it better.
How many halves do you want an animal to have?
I would like it to just be a whole instead of having multiple halves.
You're so picky for someone with half the amount of horns you should have.
This one is sharp, and I will stab you with it.
Whilst they're
Right.
moving, Astro will find a quiet corner first and say another prayer to an apple. Just try and reach out again.
I think Volga's going to walk over once Astra's finished and just go, I won't come in straight away if you don't want me to. I'll give 4 knocks. You can either open the door and I'll come in or not.
That's fine.
Just so we're not all running in at the same time.
Okay.
If you give it one kick, I'll
Atlas
barge
will
the door down.
hand Volgir the mask, and the mask and the tank and be like, just so you know, if you lose these, I will die a horrible death.
Yeet! Off the side of the...
Just protect them like your life depends on it, cause mine does. My life
so
depends
don't-
on it.
Don't store them next to my dagger.
Yeah,
I
please
don't know
do
whether
that.
to feel good or bad that whenever Atlas gave her mask to Cyrus, she didn't say that.
She was
She's
drunk.
Here's my mask, buddy. Sure, why not? Gives massive gear. Look after it.
Just there are plants in that tank that are officially extinct, so they're actually worth quite a lot of money. But don't sell them. I
Oh.
need them to live.
Thank you for telling me. I can get off it.
Also, they'd only be valuable to very specific botanists.
So do
God
we
damn
have a
it.
plan of action?
I think we do.
I'm going to turn into a squirrel, climb into Astra's hair, and we're gonna go maybe meet some terrorists.
Minions are gonna go to a theater.
And my father says I don't think my plan's through.
Well, Cyrus, we finally got that date.
Don't make it weird.
Don't be weird, Cyrus. He's already been in your pants twice.
Don't make it
You
weird.
probably still have hair on you somewhere.
Cyrus will get up, take
Be
a big
fair,
hit
have
on
you
the
seen
t-shirt,
how-
and then walk out of the room.
Have you seen how that man sheds? I think we all have hair on us.
Yeah, probably you too. And then
So just stand up.
Yep.
Do you breathe?
Well,
Okay, I was like,
I'll-
don't breathe the
I'll do
smoke
the
out in
same.
here.
No, he
I'll-
walks out
I
of
don't
the room
have
and
my
then it
mask on.
You take up ahead of the sheaf. Con saving throw.
Please do
13.
this absolutely fucked.
13. Cyrus. Whoa.
Oh.
Feroz. Whoa.
So we're gonna go meet with some
We're
baby
going-
terrorists,
we're
and our
going
backup
to-
is high as balls.
Yes.
We're going to a fucking theater, man.
So
We're
it's
going to
it's
a
basic.
theater.
So it's
Believe it.
basically just the end of Police Academy.
Yeah, literally.
I'm just gonna turn around, look at them two, then look at Astra and just go, remember,
dinner plates, by the way. Like, you look at them and we're like,
Yeah.
"Mm."
I'm just gonna be like, right. Oh, we do.
Volga,
Do
you're
you
our
want
only
me
backup. I trust you.
Yeah. Well, I'll pop in immediate. Like, I'll give you a
Keep-
30
keep
seconds,
them
and then I'll
alive.
knock on the door.
I'm just gonna pray a little bit more after saying those two. Just
I
like,
would
"Oh,
also like to
no."
pray to Anepo a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, dear God of the water fountain, look after them and don't let them die.
Astra, roll a D100.
Can I roll a D100?
Nah,
Boo.
no ties to this god.
D1000.
Can I roll 5 D100? How small's my chance here?
I'm just probably like, I really hope we're doing the right thing here.
Can I give Astra advantage?
12.
12, okay. Astra, you like, you're down and you think in your thoughts for a while until it goes quiet. Normally after Barros and Cyrus have left. You feel like you're at a crossroads. Whatever choice you make next, you think will determine a lot for a lot of people. But there is no clear path. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. You ponder on it for a while longer, hoping for clarity, guidance, anything. Nothing comes.
Well, that was helpful.
Let's go get some answers.
Can I
one
just
way or
be
another.
like, hey, Wave, quick, look out the window! And then turn into the squirrel, okay?
Out the window, but it's one of those little narrow ones you have to like climb up on a step to see. Hang on. I just see clouds, man. What are you? Oh! Where'd you go? Ah! There's a rat in here.
No,
Squeak.
alright, it's just Pip. And then Asher picks it up, puts it in the box.
Oh,
Squeak,
You
squeak.
might want to get.
better
might
watch
wanna get
that thing.
moving. Judging, I'm guessing you have a time limit, so let's get moving.
Yeah.
And as you all
Squeak, squeak,
head out,
squeak.
planning on
Cyrus
this
and
little
Barros are
rendezvous,
like fumbling their
yeah.
way into the boat.
you all pile in your jetty and head back towards the main island. And that is where we're going to stop for today. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.